Good evening, everyone. Paul Gray here with Dan Robbins at Central Hardin High School for Friday Night Football, brought to you by Hardin County Television. We've got a great matchup tonight, the Central Hardin Bruins and the John Hardin Bulldogs, crosstown rivals here tonight with a big football game. We've got John Hardin coming in at 2-2 off of a big win over Warren Central High School out of Bowling Green, but also having the week before that a lot of question marks after a 31-0 loss to the North Hardin Trojans. Coming in tonight, Central Hardin behind Coach Tim Mattingly at 1-3. They've had some really tough losses, and big night for both football teams. Both teams looking for a win. Both teams needing a win, and Central Hardin with a lot of question marks with some big injuries. Dan, what did Coach Mattingly have to tell you about the injury bug that's hit this team, and what are they going to do?
Yeah, Paul, Coach Mattingly was obviously, you can tell his emotions has probably kind of ran wild for the past couple of weeks as they've been dealing with this injury, and not just an injury, maybe at a position that you can replace. They're dealing with it at the most important, as the quarterback. He talked a lot about, the loss of not just a position, but as a player. Leading the helm this year, as everyone knows, has been Chase Elmore, sorry. And Chase Elmore, not only plays quarterback for him, but also is the safety. And so he, the leader on offense, the leader on defense. And so it's been a tough thing for them in the locker room, on the practice field, kind of preparing mentally to get ready for such a battle with a crosstown rival.
Well, as Dan mentioned, Chase Elmore, quarterback, had been quite productive over a couple weeks, 315 yards passing and 1 touchdown. They brought in their best rusher, probably the best athlete and best football player on the team to replace him in Deonko Wilkerson. Deonko had rushed for 201 yards and 3 touchdowns over a couple of weeks. He replaced Chase Elmore, and he promptly got injured in the next contest against Christian Academy of Louisville. So they're hurting. They've got not only their top 2 quarterbacks out, their top rusher is out. Just so many question marks for the Central Hardin Bruins to answer tonight. And, again, we're going to have a good football game and very physical. What did Coach have to say about their game plan with all the injuries that they've got?
He used the word simple. He said we're going to keep it simple. He said there's no reason in the world to try to do anything. Trying to prepare, this team with a new quarterback at the helm, trying to do anything crazy. He said their playbook is about as simple as you can get, and he said that's their plan in this game, offensively and defensively.
Well, replacing Chase Elmore and Deonko Wilkerson, the quarterback tonight, we expect to see Cody Moore, number 12. Cody had some experience as a freshman playing some quarterback. He knew the offense. He was the most likely candidate when you get to your third or fourth option. He was really the only option they had at that point. They are trying to train several other guys. Obviously, if Cody's your third or fourth, he's probably one of your last options. So I know they've been training tight end and defensive end Sean Hay, who also is one of our basketball players as well and a really good athlete. So just a lot of question marks. Some things to watch for there with Central Hardin is who is playing quarterback. Are they going to make any switches during the game? And the game plan appears as though it's going to be run heavy. And can we be more physical than John Hardin?
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about that a little bit in our pregame. A guy that I think that everyone was used to seeing last year, number 5, Josh Valentine, really, and even the newspaper picked him to be one of the top offensive players this year. Was really just, kind of been, I don't want to use the word non-existent, but he hasn't been the offensive threat or that we were seeing last year. And so, honestly, I'm thinking back to my old coaching days. I'm sure you are too. Is that I'd be dialing up number 5 and say we're gonna use him until you can stop us.
Well, Josh Valentine will be a key tonight. I think he's had 20 carries for 70 yards this year. Not the kind of production we saw from him last year. Is that offensive line not creating the space that they have in the past? Is the lack of the threat of the pass because of the injuries to the quarterbacks an issue? We're going to find out tonight. What about as the teams take the field and the Bruins? This is their home opener tonight. There's a lot of excitement. We had a Hall of Fame ceremony earlier. They look fired up and ready to roll as they take the field. And as we've talked a lot about the Bruins, Dan, tell me something about the John Hardin Bulldogs and what we want to see tonight from them.
Well, Coach Engstrand really likes to throw the ball. He is a product of the Tony Franklin system. As we have seen, stats-wise, their quarterback and Mr. Russell, Justin Russell, has thrown the ball 128 times so far in 4 games. At that rate, obviously you can tell that they are sold on the pass. So I imagine that they're going to stick to that game plan. They're probably going to continue to do that, try to stretch the field a little bit. And I would think that they're going to try to attack them from that manner. Obviously, we can tell, and as always in the past, John Hardin has some nice athletes, and if they're able to get the ball into some of those hands, then it could be a long night for the Bruins.
Well, key players for John Hardin Bulldogs, as you mentioned, quarterback Justin Russell, and I'd say one of the keys, as I've talked to Coach Engstrand in the past, is that they take care of the football. Justin has been very effective throwing the ball, but he's also made some errors. He's thrown 7 interceptions against 8 touchdowns, and I'm sure a key tonight will be protecting the football.
Absolutely. I think it has to be, and it could be one of the factors to the game, who wins that battle of either forcing the turnovers or being on the plus side of those turnovers. Because obviously we know we're going to see them as we are dealing with, as we talked about, a new captain there behind the quarterback there for the Central Hardin Bruins. So that will be a key factor we'll have to pay attention to.
Well, we're getting ready for kickoff, and we'll be John Hardin on offense first, and so we'll be looking at Justin Russell at quarterback. Dominic Hodges, number 25, is their leading rusher. We'll be expecting to see Dominic put his stamp on this game early. And their leading receiver with 245 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns is Deshaun Johnson. He is an impressive-looking athlete, number 13.
Yes, he is. I mean, I'm looking at him right now, and I can tell that he's one of those kids that you see coming off the bus, and you say, "Oh, that kid doesn't even need pads. He's ready to go."
He is impressive, and so we're lining up for kickoff, and away we go. Little pooch kick. Xander Allen kicks it away, number 32. Fair catch. Heady play by number 32 for John Hardin. That's Navash Daly, who's one of their defensive specialists, one of their leading tacklers, their second leading tackler, makes a really heady play on the kickoff return.
Yeah, you got to be football smart. There's no reason at that point you get a high kickoff. Just fair catch it. Take the ball right there. You get yourself a good field position starting at the 30. You really can't ask for more than that on the first series.
So John Hardin, 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. 3 wide to the right in the shotgun, as we expect to see all night in the spread. The give immediately straight downhill. I thought it was Dominic Hodges for about 6 or 7 yards.
Yeah, really, really nice play opened up. I mean, you're going on first down, coming up the gut. I think they're going to test to see what this defensive front looks like for Central Hardin.
That was actually Will Kaysen, their second leading rusher, who has 132 yards rushing so far this year. So they're starting with Will Kaysen tonight in the backfield. And a give again, a little trap play straight ahead and first down.
Hey, 2 plays, run it up the gut, you get first down. We may be wrong. We may see a little change from Coach Engstrand and his staff.
It was Central Hardin that talked about being physical, but boy, what a physical beginning there, just straight ahead, 2 touches in a row to the big running back, Will Kaysen. So Justin Russell behind center, just moving Kaysen to his right. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side, motion coming across, fake. Back to Kaysen again, straight ahead for about 4.
Yeah, good job there for the Bruins to be able to trip him up. That play looked like it could have went for a little bit more. He looked like he definitely had a hole opening up there on that side.
Looks like maybe Coach is going to a few different players here. Number 2, Marquelis Hill, has not really played a lot of offense. He's been a defensive specialist, so maybe something a little different here. 2nd and 6. The give to number 25. That is Dominic Hodges now, and looks like a first down.
We ran the ball 4 times so far with John Hardin, and we've got 2 first downs. Central Hardin has to be thinking right now what's going on, because they are just chewing them up.
Well, the middle of that defense is supposed to be the strength. Zach Jones, Josh Valentine, the big guys up inside so far aren't really having the effect we might have expected them to. Again, shotgun. 25, Dominic Hodges to the right of the quarterback, Justin Russell. The give again. Big penetration up the middle, big loss.
Yeah, good job on the stunt. You know, here we talked about him in our pregame a little bit. Josh Valentine also plays middle backer for the Bruins. He read that out, and I don't think he was on a stunt. It looked like that he was just coming on his own.
Big play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 8. They've gone back across to their side of the 50-yard line. Ball on the 45. Trips to the right. 3 wide receivers. And 2nd and long. They put themselves behind the sticks. Give again to Hodges. Hodges looking for the right side. Goes wide. Picks up. Gets back about 6. Almost back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good job by Noah Page playing outside backer here. Really staying home and reading his keys and being able to kind of take care of that. And I'm thinking right now, just looking at it, Central Hardin is playing that 3-man front, and it just could be as simple as if you're going to play 3 up front, then we're going to run the ball.
Well, it looks like they are playing just 4 or 5 in the box, and so until they stop the run, I think we'll see the Bulldogs continue. We have trips to the left. So far, Coach Engstrom has been sending the trips to the wide side of the field. And it will be 3rd down and about 13, actually, from the 49-yard line, the Bulldog 49. The snap, fake the pass, quick throw. Number 13, Deshaun with the football. Deshaun Johnson on the catch. He's a little short of the first down.
Yeah, a little short of the first down for Deshaun, but he made a nice grab over there, putting him in a decent position. It's a big decision, I think, for Coach Engstrom here. They've moved the ball decently. Do they want to take a chance here this early in the game?
4th and 4 from the Bruin 42-yard line. The crowd is excited. Number 2, Marquilius Hill in motion. He comes all the way across the formation. Looks like they're trying to freeze and get Central Hardin to jump.
Yeah, just as I kind of thought. I thought it was kind of early in the game to be going for it on 4th down. There's no reason to have to. You could punt here, pin them back. But not bad for coach and staff to try to just see if they could get an easy 5 out of it.
Well, as we've said, Central Hardin, since Chase Elmore has gone out of the lineup, they have really struggled. They have not scored a point. They were shut out 59-0 by South Warren last week in their depleted and state. They in the second half against Christian Academy Louisville did not score. So you might as well pin them back and see if you can make them earn it. However, that doesn't look like what they're going to do, does it?
No, we're going to keep their offense on the field.
Offense on the field, trips to the right. Again, we're going to keep our eyes on Deshaun Johnson there, number 13, the big slot receiver here out to the right. Justin Russell ready to take the snap. Big 4th and 4 early in the game. Quick fake. Deshaun Johnson, great breakup by Noah Page, number 10.
That was a really, really nice read. I think that was the design play that they were going to go to Deshaun on that play the entire time, and he was really double coverage. We had him on the backside and Noah Page jumping on the front side. Great job by the Bruins.
Dan, that was the exact same play they had run on the previous play to the other side. I think Noah Page recognized that, and he was able to jump Deshaun Johnson immediately and made a beautiful play knocking the ball away. So Central Hardin will take over. 1st and 10 now on their own 42-yard line. Good field position. They'll be in their wing T formation, wing to the right, motion across. That's number 3, Gavin George, to the other side. And as we expected, Josh Valentine straight ahead.
Yeah, it looks like we got a player losing the helmet there. But, yeah, they're going to give a little bit of Josh Valentine. Again, we talked about that in the pregame. He is a heavy load. I'm not sure how big he is, but I've stood next to him before, and I think he's probably got to be at least 225, 230.
He is a big kid, and Zach Jones, the best offensive and defensive lineman for the Bruins, had to come out after losing his helmet. I'm sure he'll be back in on the next play. So 2nd down and 7. Bruins on the right hash. Wing formation to the left. Chris Bellin in motion across the formation, 23.
Looks like we have little jitters on the offensive line there, getting a little happy, getting going a little quick. That's an adjustment, we didn't talk about earlier, but when you bring in a different quarterback, you got to get used to his cadence. And his timing is going to be a little different, and so the offensive line has to factor that in, even though they've practiced with that all week. Yeah,
that was number 72, Big Chase Connor, and Chase has been dealing with some injury issues of his own there. If you look at number 72, he's got a big knee brace on. He's had some problems with his knee over the past several months. So now we've got 2nd and 12. Again, Chris Bellin motion across the formation. The give is to Gavin George off the left side on the buck sweep. Looks like a gain of about 4 to 5 yards. It'll get past the original line of scrimmage. Be third down.
Yeah, good job of Gavin George. He does run the ball very well. He is a physical athlete, so getting him involved in the run game is I think is a key for the Bruins at this point.
It's important. Obviously, they're not going to be able to throw it as much. He is their leading receiver, Gavin George, with 13 catches for 257 yards and a touchdown. That may not be a factor. He's going to probably have to start to carry the load running the football with all the injuries. All right, 3rd and 7. Got 2 wide to the left. We're in shotgun formation. The give is to Gavin George around the left side. They're trying to get the corner close to a first down. They're right even with us in the press box. What do you think, Dan?
Well, it's going to be all up to this spot. Kind of where I'm standing, it looks like he's going to be a little bit short. I don't think he got the spot that he wanted off of this. No, he is. Oh. My eyes have played tricks on me before, Paul, but that's maybe a little home field on that one. But I'm sure the Bruins will take it.
Yeah, as I looked across there, that's the 48-yard line the ball was short of, or past, if you want to look at it that direction. But and I don't think that they got that. But it'll bring up a 1st and 10. Good break for the Bruins. Bellin in motion again across the formation. Quick toss to Gavin George out wide again. They're looking on a quick pitch to get the edge, and they didn't.
I thought the play was getting ready to bust open really. Bellin, that came in motion, put a nice block out there on the corner, a nice little stock block that he was putting in. And the play a little slow to develop.
Yeah. 15, Trevor Nelson on the stop for the Bulldogs. Made a great play. Be watching for big number 56, Isaiah Reed, defensive end, and leading tackler for the Bulldogs. He has been a major factor in all their games this year, so we'll keep an eye out for him. But that time, Trevor Nelson makes a great play on the edge. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Bruins. 2-wing formation. Quick give straight ahead on the fullback trap to Valentine. Looks like a pickup of about 5.
It looks like we got a little laundry on the play. Not sure what this is going to be. Maybe it's in the vicinity of where a hold would be. Face mask.
Another good break for the Bruins. They've got their own drive started after John Hardin makes a good initial drive with several first downs and gets stopped on a 4th down. Now the Bruins are getting a drive started of their own. That'll leave them with, after a 5-yard face mask penalty, it'll bring up 2nd and 2 from the Bulldog 40-yard line. They're in the shotgun formation again, 2 wide to the left, 2 backs flanking Cody Moore. Cody's going to run to the left, sprinting out. He's going to keep the football and try to run for. He does not run for the first down.
We can see 2 flags on this play, Paul. The first one was an obvious hold, as I can kind of see it a little bit as offensive lineman got to protect their quarterback. But then this hit that happened at the end, it's going to be one of the targeting calls.
Well, we had, I think, number 62, Zach Jones, again, one of the top players for the Bruins. As they sprinted out, he's trying to run and seal the edge for his quarterback as his quarterback is sprinting out. And they have given a targeting call on John Hardin, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like it was a targeting call. It looks like these are going to be offsetting. But the young man that is down right now, his helmet came off after this, and he is rolling around pretty bad.
Well, it's definitely concerning. And, again, we saw heads go down and helmets go together. And, I haven't seen somebody reacting quite like that in a while. He's going to jump up and run off the field. Now, that was number 20 down for John Hardin. It's Nicholas Surley Jr. And Nicholas is up and off the field and still seems to be in a little bit of pain over there on the sideline. I'm sure we'll resume action in just a moment. Let me remind everybody of our sponsors. This is an HCEC-TV student production, a division of Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. Tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom, Comcast Cable Channel 2. And so the Bruins at 2nd and 2 now will take over again as the offsetting penalties. Valentine off the left side. Good pickup for a first down.
Josh is running, his head's down. He's just, I don't know if he's looking for daylight or not. He's just going until there's no more contact. But he, again, just a hard runner, looking for some green grass.
Another John Hardin Bulldog down. It's number 52. That's Dominic Hope, one of the top tacklers for the Bulldogs on the season. He'll be jogging slowly off, and so the Bruins have the football 1st and 10 on the Bulldog 35-yard line. Not the most impressive drive I've ever seen, but they are really just grinding it out. And we've got a timeout for the John Hardin Bulldogs.
Yeah, you know, and I've just kind of what I've seen thus far, Paul, and I'd like to hear your comments on it. To me, it looks like about three different plays that they've run thus far. You know, I think Coach Manley definitely is keeping to what he said in the pregame, just keep it simple. We've seen Josh, in this case, run the ball more in the first quarter than he has in his first 4 games.
Well, so far, Cody Moore at quarterback again. His duties are going to be limited. We did see them line up in the shotgun and sprint out, and he was holding the ball as if he was in a passing position. It really looked like a quarterback sweep to me. It didn't look like he really intended to let the ball go. So they are, as Coach Mattingly told you, trying to keep it simple. Like you pointed out, they're running some fullback off tackle, some fullback trap, some quick toss, and maybe some outside zone. That's pretty much what we've seen so far out of this Central Hardin offense. And they'll take back over here after the timeout. Again, under center, Cody Moore. We've got a loaded backfield to the left side. And Chris Bellin in motion across the formation. Again, it'll be a buck sweep to the right. Gavin George looks like he's got 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, nice little play by Gavin George. He likes to get out in space, and I think he is about a tackle or two from breaking one. And if he gets out in that grass, as athletic as he is, he will take one to the house.
Well, it looks like right now he's the speed back, and Valentine's going to be the power back, and they're using that combination so far on this drive to be very effective. It'll bring us to 2nd and 5. The Bruins are on the John Hardin 30-yard line, going in looking for a score. Hunter Mitchell wide left. They're in the shotgun. The outside zone play to the left. Gavin George making some moves and just getting his head down and maybe just short of the first down.
Looks like we got another flag on the play. I'm thinking maybe in the vicinity of another hold. Yes, it is. I think that's just kind of one of those things, especially given the situation where the Bruins have had the injuries. It may be one of the things the offensive line is just thinking that they're trying to protect some of their players, but it is costly.
Well, they had a lot of space out there, and again, it's the second time we've seen a holding call, and it's been on plays trying to get out wide, and obviously they're trying to hold on and get the edge sealed off. That'll bring up 2nd and 11 now. We've got our wing formation to the left. Some adjustments are being made. Tight end Sean Hayes switching sides, and a lot of confusion.
Yeah, they didn't like that, and I think it's really good. Offensive coordinator, I see there Tyler Mattingly going out there. He wants to talk to them about it. These are the opportunities where you definitely want, if you can get your quarterback over, get the team over, calm them down just a little bit, and sort it out. No reason to waste a play there.
So we've got 4:01 remaining in the first quarter, 0-0 still. Each team has possessed the ball one time, and the Bruins still with the football at 2nd and 11. Again, we're going to continue to note our sponsors. We really appreciate the sponsorship and the support for Hardin County students through Hardin County Television, specifically Physical Therapy Associates. More personal attention for more effective results. With locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Back to action here. On the field, it looks as though the wing T formation to the right with a wide receiver overbalanced to the right-hand side. So 2 receivers to the right. And in the wing formation, Sean Hay, the tight end, will now switch to the left. Big blitz, and they're looking at a reverse to number 9, Talon Ferris, and he picks up about 6 to 7 yards.
A nice little play there by the Bruins. Looked like Cody Moore took the snap. He saw the Bulldog defender blitzing on that side, and I think it kind of spooked him just a minute and almost forgot that he needed to hand that ball off.
Well, I thought it was going to be a big loss and a hit in the backfield, but fortunately for the Bruins, it was not a dive play to the fullback. It was a fake to the fullback, and then the wingback coming around on a reverse. So that'll bring up 3rd and 5. Big down for both teams here. Wing to the left, Bellin in motion across the formation again. And a fullback trap to Valentine. He's got a lot of space. Great cut to the left. Down inside the 10-yard line.
Nice run by Josh Valentine there. Being very patient on the guard trap. You do have to wait just a half a second to get your guard through there to make that block, and a very nice block. And I think that was, I think it was Mason Trout, 61, on the nice guard trap block there to free him up.
And then downfield, I think I saw Sean Hay about 10 yards downfield making a block, and then Valentine made a nice cut to get off of his back and way down the field. So it's first and goal from about the 7-yard line. And Bruins knocking on the door. Bellin in motion across the formation again. The snap. Quick toss.
Oh.
It's knocked out of the air. Almost picked up. The Bruins are going to jump back on the ball. It looks like number 3, Gavin George, was able to get back on the ball.
I tell you what, number 4 for the Bulldogs, Josh Garrett, was there. He could have almost took the pitch right from Cody Moore, and I think he's been a little bit greedy at that point, trying to pick it up and scoop. But Coach, you probably did the same thing. We teach him scoop and score.
Oh man!
But that was a big play and a great recovery by Gavin George to save that touchdown.
I lost a game on a play exactly like that when I was quarterback, and I pitched the ball and a guy picked it off and scored because they recognized motion, and so Central Hardin had run the same motion. So second and goal now from the 27-yard line. Valentine again on the trap, this time only 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, it looks like we got a Bruin down, one of our linemen. I don't think we can afford to have a lineman down there. When in doubt, we got those plays like that. Give it back to your big fullback. Let him get you some ground back.
That was 51 Chance Shank on the ground, but he's up. He looks good. And, third and goal from the 23-yard line. Not a lot of plays in the playbook for this, especially when you're struggling in the passing game. They'll be under center. Number 80, Hunter Mitchell to the left. Chris Bellin to the left. Overbalanced formation to the left with the backs behind. They give us to Gavin George on the buck sweep. He's got space. Good cut. Back up inside. Down to the 11-yard line. Big pickup.
Yeah, nice play there. And notice that we had his lead block there. Kyler Lee came in at fullback, giving Josh Valentine a little spell, which is nice to do. And I was wondering what they were going to do here. And Coach Manley says we're going to take the 3 if we can get it.
That'll be number 40, I believe. That is, I thought it was Evan Jones, but it's not. 30, Evan Jones is your kicker. He's wearing number 40 tonight. That's my confusion. He's not on the list as 40, but 30, Evan Jones, the normal kicker. And the kick is up and away. Looks good. Through the uprights, 3-0 Bruins.
We know, Paul, it took us almost a whole quarter to get it, but that's a hard-fought 3 points to get, and I think the Bruins will take it at this point.
Both teams with one possession in the first quarter, grinding out yards. The Bruins come away with points, and the Bulldogs came away empty. We've got 56 seconds left in the first quarter. Bruins 3, Bulldogs nothing.
Yeah, just a little update, kind of watching my Twitter feed here, following the North Hardin Trojans who've been on a roll. They were up at North Bullitt tonight, and it looks like so far that Eric Moore has made 2 really nice passes, and they are up 12-0 on North Bullitt.
Wow, okay. So fantastic. Yes, they have been really on fire lately, beating up on PRP and Elizabethtown in the last couple of weeks. That Elizabethtown game was tight through the first half, but got a little bit away from Elizabethtown in the second half. So North Hardin continuing to be very successful. There'll be a late season matchup between them and the Central Hardin Bruins. That'll be a big one.
Yeah, I think that right now, kind of going into the season, they thought that one of them could be the favorite to win the district. Right now, with how the things are laying out, North Hardin seems to be the favorite, but we'll be excited to see that game.
Looks that way, especially again with the injury bug that has hit. Xander Allen, number 87, is going to be kicking off here. Not Evan Jones, so they've got 2 kickers sharing the duties. Back deep, it looks like Dominic Hodges and for John Hardin, and number 3, Darian Davis, awaiting the kick, and they're not very deep. They're the pooch kick last time. I think this is a general tactic for the Bruins, and it's like an onside kick. Ball bounces off number 11, but he's going to cover it. Number 11 for John Hardin, Thomas Greer on the ball.
Hey, when you go for the onside kick, you usually try to find the one kid that you go after. I'm not sure for me, that I would find someone in the number 11. That's typically a skill number. Then I would probably try to stay away from kicking at that kid. Well,
Thomas Greer is listed as a wide receiver in DB. That might have been a bad choice. I think they were looking maybe to just squib kick it, and it hit Mr. Greer. So big play, good play. They're set up with great field position on their own 47-yard line. Again, 23, Will Kaysen set to the left, trips to the left. Justin Russell takes the snap, and again, they start this drive, give to Case, and big yardage.
Yeah, really nice run again there by Will Kaysen. The Bruins there is about a den of Bruins, I guess, on that tackle. There were several of them. But I really like Coach Inkster's play there. That was working earlier in their drive, so come back to the run.
Well, again, we've seen North Hardin. One of the big differences in North Hardin is the physicality of their line and their ability to run the ball. So maybe Coach Engstrand here is going to try to take a play out of that book. Even though they're a spread team, they're going to run the ball. 2nd and 4. Give again, straight ahead. Will Kaysen, a lot of space. First down, it appears.
I tell you, again, it's kind of just a replay of what we saw in their first series. 2 plays, first down. Is it going to be 2 plays and first down again? They are really hitting that left side of that line, or their offensive line. They're hitting that left side right now, and the Bruins really do not have an answer for them.
As you mentioned, they're the Bruins in a 3-man front, and they may need to get back in their 4-man front if they're going to stop this run. Sean Hay at defensive end over there, and number 69, Zach Kempe, are trying to get this thing stopped along with the linebackers behind them, including Josh Valentine. But so far, they're having a hard time getting the run stopped.
Yeah, they're going to definitely have to come up with something right now because, I think the first series that they had, it may have been an 8 or 9 play series for the Bulldogs. And definitely the Bruins were able to put together a nice series for themselves. But defensively for both teams, they've got to find a way to get some 3-and-outs.
So the end of the first quarter, we're heading into the second quarter. Bruins 3, Bulldogs nothing. And again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties. For all your real estate needs, contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he'll get the job done. Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable, unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. And so the Bulldogs, 1st and 10 to start the second quarter on the left hash in the shotgun. Trips to the wide side again. Justin Russell ready to take the snap. They're on the Bruin 43-yard line. Bruins again in a 3-man front look with just 6 in the box, maybe even 5. Zach Jones all over Justin Russell. Big sack for Big Zach.
Oh, that was really, really nice. And he came through, and I don't think Justin was going to get away from him. He's a big body, but he moves quick.
Zach Jones is a great athlete. He's a great kid and makes a big play. That's the guy they've been counting on to make plays for them. And so the Bulldogs, after the sack, will line up about 2nd and 18 from the 50-yard line. Russell waiting for the snap. Down the middle, overthrown, miscommunication. Deshaun Johnson stopped his route, and Russell threw it deep.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened on the play. Deshaun thought that he was supposed to set about 2 yards from the first down marker, and Justin definitely overthrew him. He's really lucky at that point that the safety wasn't going to sit back there and just pick that ball off.
Well, the other thing I would note here is Bulldogs very effective in the running game. They've now called 2 passes, and they're sitting in 3rd and 18. Could not stay committed to it, and they're paying. So trips to the right, long yardage, sprint out. Justin Russell sprinting out. 61 giving chase. He's got Deshaun Johnson completion. Makes 2 tacklers miss. Spins off a 3rd. Big first down pickup on 3rd and 17. He picks up about 30 yards.
Well, just that quick, you can be sitting at 3rd and 15, but you get the ball in number 13's hands, and he's going to make something happen. He caught the ball about 2 yards short, I guess probably about the same route that he was probably looking for a little bit ago, and he was able to grind it out to get the first down.
Couple of big plays there as he breaks 2 or 3 tackles to get that first down. 1st and 10 from the Bruin 28-yard line, right hash. Trips left. Russell looking for the screen pass, and it is incomplete. It could have been a lateral. No, they're calling an incomplete pass there.
Yeah, that definitely was a forward pass, but smart move by both sides. The Bulldogs and the Bruins are to jump on that. You do not want to take a risk at this point.
Number 4, Josh Garrett, was the intended receiver, and Josh is the young man who had an opportunity for the scoop and score earlier. Couldn't hang on to that. Couldn't hang on to this pass. Didn't look like he was going to have much of an opportunity there. So as we talked about, they're going to throw screens. And there was screen number 1, 2nd and 10. Give inside to Hodges. They're all over it. Blitz by Josh Valentine off the edge.
Yeah, they definitely
easy pickup.
They definitely sniffed that one out.
Absolutely.
They saw probably something similar for them in their run formation, and the Bruins were able to knock that down and get a nice stop there and pull. Big 3rd down now.
10:07 to go in the second quarter, and it's 3rd and 13. John Hardin from the right hash. Trips to the left. Deshaun Johnson in the slot again. Sprint out. Justin Russell with the ball. Throwing on the run. Picked off!
Kyler Lee.
Kyler Lee on the interception, running it back up the right sideline. He'll be pushed out of bounds at the 38.
What a nice job there by Kyler Lee, really kind of sitting in there in the flats and just waiting for Russell. It looked like that he was set up for where the pass play was supposed to go. And, you know, those are kind of those plays when you do those rollouts, Paul, you know, I saw daylight for Justin, but I'm not sure how comfortable he is in taking off and just running that.
Well, that's a hard throw again on the roll to your left, but I'm going to point something out here on the play call. I saw the out route by Deshaun Johnson. It's the same route that he picked up the big play on. Kyler Lee saw the route. He understood what was happening. He saw it because he just saw it 2 plays earlier. So Central Hardin will pick it up 1st and 10 here early in the second quarter. Give to Gavin George on the buck sweep. He's trying to cut it back to the right. He's going to bull his way for about 3 or 4 here and still on his feet. About a 5-yard pickup, what looked like wasn't going to be anything.
Yeah, nice job getting some offensive linemen involved in that, just moving the pile. Saw that this past weekend watching a little NFL. That was the Marshawn Lynch play to get into the end zone.
I saw that as well. And, again, I thought aiding the runner was a thing, but that was about 10 or 15 years ago. I think they've gotten rid of that call because it's never made. So big pickup, actually 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4. And the wing tee set is to the left with a wide receiver to the left as well. Tight end right. The give straight ahead to Valentine. Number 32 for John Hardin. Navash Daly, their second leading tackler, puts Valentine on the ground pretty well right away.
Yeah, he did a good job sniffing that out and kind of meeting him there in the hole. And that's where it comes out to who's got the bigger legs, who's going to be able to drive and finish that. But it was a really nice meeting there between the two of them.
Gain of 1, 3rd and 2 from about the left hash, left side of the field. And big play at midfield for both teams. Central Hardin trying to get something going. And John Hardin needs the football back. The give lead to the fullback, Valentine, running over people for about 5 yards.
Yeah, another nice run by Valentine. I really like what Cody Moore is doing here. He's ball security. He's doing a very good job. He's pulling the ball into his pocket, really kind of keeping it hidden and making that guard trap play work. It is a little bit of trickery as you run the wing tee and you run that guard trap play, and I really like what Cody Moore is doing.
Well, that's one of the questions we had, obviously, so far. 3-0 Bruins. Cody Moore has not been called on to have to throw the football, so they're able to sustain drive so far, running the football. Again, we'll mention our sponsors. We've got E-Town Exterminating. 737-6900 online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple.
Yeah, it looks like another score update here. We've got E-Town's playing over at Thomas Nelson today, and they are up 14-0 right now.
The Panthers need a win, and they've played some tough opponents, and they've played some good football. Haven't been able to get the win that they want, but looking good tonight. 1st and 10 now from the other side of the 50. They're now on the Bulldog 49-yard line. Number 10, Noah Page, tight end, will switch sides. They'll trade the tight end. Number 9, Taylon Ferris with a nice block off tackle and pickup of a couple of yards.
Chris Bellin, I don't think we've called his name yet to carry the ball. He's been in motion a couple of times. The first time he's getting a little action touch the ball.
Well, Bellin, after losing Deonko Wilkerson, is their leading rusher coming into tonight that they still have available. So we'll see if he'll get any more carries tonight.
Yeah, and he does run the ball really well. I've seen him in his carries. I think thus far, the stat sheet looks like he's carried the ball 16 times for 92 yards. So not a bad average for himself. And he does run downhill.
Chris is a senior and a big part of what the Bruins have done the last couple of years. Under center, 2nd and 9. There's a penalty. Flag on the play.
Taking a little bit too long. Obviously, it could be a product of having the young not the young quarterback, because Cody's a senior, but having a lesser experienced quarterback, sometimes getting that play call in, and that delay of game is going to cost them a couple of yards here.
Well, they've got the play in now. It looks as though they'll probably run the same thing they had called, so they're at the line of scrimmage and ready to go. About 2nd and 14. Now from their own 47-yard lines. Again, the reverse, this time to Taylon Ferris. He breaks a tackle on another one, but could not get away from number 8, Caleb Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Caleb doing a really good job coming up and making that tackle there. We got another hold call on the Bruins here. I did notice there, I don't know how the people at home watching that, it looked like Cody Moore coming out of that with the ball. I don't know if he was reversing out or not, but it looked like he got kind of turned around a little bit, but lucky to get the ball handed off.
Yeah, that ball handling issue is something I know Coach Mattingly talked to both of us about, being concerned about ball handling and possible turnovers, just even on the snap. When you're going to take a lot of snaps and you haven't had that experience, that can be tricky.
And actually, I was noticing out here, Paul. There's a number 61 Mason Trout. I called his name earlier on a trap, but he was actually the center, and he has made that move to center this week.
Okay, 3rd and 14 now. Give inside. I think that's Kyler Lee with the football. Good pickup, about 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, very nice run by Kyler Lee. It does put them in 4th down here. A decision for Coach Manley what they're going to do. But it's nice to see a couple of the guys getting a chance to run the ball now.
Well, without a viable passing attack at this point, 4th and 9, out near midfield, the decision is made to punt the football away. So they'll be in punt formation.
It's like Noah Page handling the punting.
Noah Page punting. I'm not sure who it is back deep. It looks like number 9, and there's no number 9 on the roster for John Hardin.
Noah Page in punt formation.
Snap is good. The kick is off the right side of the foot. Noah Page shanked that one a little bit. Noah's a great athlete, but he hasn't had to handle the punting duties much. And so that one got a little bit away from him. And John Hardin will take over at their own 26-yard line. Obviously, they kind of get away with one there. Could have been much worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse. And honestly, we've taken a look at this game thus far. That is actually the worst field position here that the Bulldogs have started with.
That's correct. Again, that's a product of a turnover. And again, we talked about at the opening, Justin Russell taking care of the football, not throwing any interceptions, as he had thrown 7 coming into this game. An early second quarter turnover, but no points for the Bruins. Bulldog defense holds up, and they'll take over 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line on their own side of the field. Trips to the right, empty backfield. Looking down the field again, down the middle, Deshaun Johnson with the catch in traffic.
I tell you, Paul, that ball was thrown in there. I'm not sure if Deshaun Johnson was going to pull that in, but I think that the coverage helped them to wrangle that ball in. I don't think that he was going to make the catch.
That was Josh Valentine on the coverage, and he was not able to bring it in. The give this time, again, Will Kaysen straight ahead. He's been handling most of the running duties, and he picks up a yard or 2.
Yeah, it looks like now they're kind of Coach Engstrom looks like he's going a little back and forth here. Obviously, not being able to get the ball into Deshaun Johnson's hands earlier in the game, you've got to definitely find a way to get it to him. And so, obviously, throwing the ball is going to be that way.
2 wide to each side, middle of the field. Russell with the catch, the throw, number 3 on the reception to the left. I believe that's Darian Davis on the quick screen.
Yeah, Darian Davis makes a nice grab and then heads towards the sideline, trying to pick up what he can. Brings up a 3rd and short.
3rd and 3 or 4 yards to go here. They've kind of moved the down marker back a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 4 actually. Again, that's the second screen tonight. We'll keep a running count. We'll see how much Coach Engstrom will dial up the screen pass. Trips into the short side of the field this time. High snap. Russell going to run the football straight ahead, close to the marker. I think he's picked up the 1st down.
It's going to be really close. It's going to depend on the spot. I think he is going to get it. Nice job. That was looked like a designed quarterback draw off of that. Taking it and letting the quarterback pick up the short 4.
Dylan Butterworth and Kyler Lee on the tackle. That was 62 defensive tackle Dylan Butterworth. And Dan, I've been trying to find linebacker number 54 on the roster for quite a while here, and I'm not sure who they've got out there at outside backer for the Bruins. But it'll be 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line, and again, give straight ahead to Will Kaysen. Big pickup, 5 yards again. They are Dylan Butterworth on the tackle.
Yeah, good job again by Will Kaysen on that play. The ball looked like was getting ready to pop out a little bit, and he did a good job of holding that in. One of the Bruins put their helmet right on the ball.
So Butterworth and Jones, 2 defensive linemen, making quite a few tackles here now, but they're giving up yards, and we're not calling a lot of the linebackers' names. No, Josh Valentine's in the middle of the field. 2nd and 5. Give inside again to Kaysen. Little cut back, and he'll pick up a first down with 6 yards.
On the carry.
Nice. I really like the play calling right now by Coach Ingstrand and his staff. You know, given some nice heavy doses of the run again. It was working early on in the game, and then keeping them honest. They're probably going to come back with the pass in just a little bit as well.
1st and 10, Bulldogs from the Bruin 40-yard line. We've got 2 backs in the backfield with Justin Russell. That's maybe an indication of running the football. And Will Kaysen again straight ahead. Or actually, that's 25. Dominic Hodges this time.
Yeah, Dominic Hodges getting in there, getting a couple carries.
And as soon as he gets a carry, he's going to check back out of the lineup. And number 21, Jalen Springs, who's their 3rd leading rusher, will check in. So they've got 3-headed monster going now at the running back position, keeping them fresh. Deshaun Johnson to the right in the trips formation in the slot. Give inside to Springs. He's got room over the right side. Ball's loose on the ground. It looks like the Bruins jumped on it.
Looks like it's going to be who ends up with it in the pile here.
And I see the referee raising up 3 fingers to call 3rd down. Bulldogs jumped on it.
And it looks like that it was actually Jalen Springs who was the ball carrier that was able to get it. For a coach's standpoint, if you fumble the ball and you're the one that gets it back, that you don't get in as much trouble.
3rd and 7 again. Pick an interception on the last possession. That would have been devastating as they've got a really nice drive going here, running and throwing the football. 3rd and 7. Quick screen to the right to the running back, Jalen Springs, and it's just thrown too far upfield. He couldn't handle the pass.
Yeah, those are a couple of those plays right there, you know, Coach, that I don't really enjoy. He's close enough to me. Just pitch the ball to him. He's throwing the ball. I think it's just a little bit too much heat on it for that close.
It is a lot more difficult to handle that kind of a throw at that angle. For the running back, running actually directly away from the quarterback. It's a very flat throw, difficult. 4th and 7, they're going for it. Here we go, empty backfield. Springs in motion. The give to Springs on 4th and long. Not much room. He breaks out, though. He's off to the races. Touchdown, Bulldogs from the 37-yard line. 37-yard touchdown on 4th and 7.
Yeah, so that was a really nice one by Jalen Springs. The Bruins had him bottled up, and he did a great job of cutting back on that. We're going to have a flag on the play, but this flag is going to be after. It's going to be a celebration. Probably could be a taunting on number 13 here.
Really late flag. So, yeah, it appears as though we will have touchdown. Unsportsmanlike conduct call. Let's see how they're going to spot it. Are they going to call it during the play and actually take the points off the board? Or usually this is a dead ball foul.
They are.
Dead ball foul. Touchdown signaled by the referee. And so John Hardin will take a 6-3 lead here with 3:39 to go in the second quarter. That has got to be a pivotal play in the game right now, Dan.
Yeah, really, really big. Again, Jalen Springs comes in, able to give Will Kaysen and Dominic Hodges a little bit of a breather, gets his opportunity, and you know what? Very proud of the kid. He made the play happen there.
He did, and on the play before, he put the ball on the ground. So that's redeeming yourself pretty well. Breaking 2 or 3 tackles, they had him bottled up, and would have been turned over on downs back to the Bruins. But they'll line up now. Zach Owens to kick the extra point. Kick is up. It's to the right, and it's no good. Hooked wide right. Owens could not complete the point after. And so with 3:39 to go again in the second quarter, Bruins 3, but the Bulldogs on the board 6.
Yeah, really, really good. Again, I like the play calling by Coach Ingstrand and his staff on that series there. Kept keeping it simple on their side of the ball. Just running, because they've been having some nice success against the Bruins. So why not do what is working? There's no reason to get too fancy in this type of situation. Get the points on the board. So really good job by the Bulldogs. Very
shocking with a passing team on 4th and 7, choosing to run the football. Gutsy call. Jalen Springs made it happen. Let me just remind everybody again to tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Communications on Channel 184. Again, this is a HCEC-TV production with student crew. We're very thankful for our students and the opportunities they're getting to broaden their horizons through working for television production. And as you see, the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty is going to be marked off on the kick. And so the Bruins are going to be looking at, hopefully for them, getting some good field position. Kick will occur from the 25-yard line. Owens doing the kicking duty. Kick is away. It's a high kick. Looks like Gavin George under it to take the kick. Running to his left. He's got space. He breaks through. Breaks another tackle. One more man to beat. Number 15 from John Hardin, Trevor Nelson, grabs the leg and stops the touchdown.
Really nice job by Gavin George, but he had some nice blockers setting up on that play. This is where something like that unsportsmanlike penalty could really haunt you. We've just got 3:30 before the half, but the Bruins now in a nice position here to hopefully put some points on the board.
Well, they'll be looking to try to get back the lead as they've just given it away on the previous possession. They'll be on the John Hardin 33-yard line on the right hash. Hunter Mitchell wide to the left. And we've got a loaded backfield to the left. Talon Ferris and Josh Valentine in the backfield. The give is to Ferris around the right side on the buck sweep. Big push up front and a good pickup.
Yeah, really nice run there by Mr. Ferris. Following his blockers, keeping the ball in between the tackles there. And really, that's where it's intended to go. And, sometimes I get some running backs just get a little fancy. They outrun their blockers and get out there too quick and try to run towards the sideline. But good job by Ferris.
Very patient, waiting for his blockers. It'll bring up 2nd and 3. Ball is inside the 30 now, almost to the 26-yard line. Quarterback sneaks straight ahead, Cody Moore, and looks like he might have even picked up the first down.
Yeah, really good job. First time Cody Moore's number's been called to make a play on his own there, and so nice job by him to pick up the first down.
Well, they must have seen a gap where John Hardin was not covering the center and giving him an A gap there just to the right between the center and guard, and Cody took it. 1st and 10 from John Hardin 22. Loaded backfield left, quick toss to Gavin George. He's got room on the outside. Great cut to the left. He's in the end zone.
It's going to come back, Paul.
But there's laundry on the field.
We do have laundry on the field, and it's going to be in the vicinity of a hold. And the misfortune on this play is this hold was unnecessary. Not to say that any hold is necessary, but Gavin was gone. And so this holding call is one that's way behind the play.
Well, I hate to call him out. We love Coach Mattingly, but he's developing more gray hairs as we speak on that kind of a play when you've got 6 points on the board and it's going to come back. And young Tyler Mattingly, the offensive coordinator, his son is going to be joining him with gray hairs pretty soon with that kind of a situation. So here we are, first now and about 18 or 19, almost 20 yards here. We've got a dead tee backfield. With a tight end to the left and a wide the other way. It's a fullback lead play straight ahead. Josh Valentine, 8 or 9 yard pickup.
And you know what? And Josh really made that play happen. He was led in there with the block. Chris Bellin was lead blocker, but I did not see who the linebacker was that took on that lead block, but he did a fantastic job of clogging up that hole, and Josh was able to make some yardage out of it.
Well, dead tee backfield. Going back to the 60s and 70s with the Crimson Tide. It'll bring up a 2nd and about 12. I thought he had a few more yards than that, but we're in the wing tee again. Gavin George in motion across the formation. Give again straight ahead to Valentine. 3 or 4 more yards. It'll set him up probably at about a 3rd and 8. They're trying to get back into position where maybe they'll have a 4th down go at it.
Yeah, I like the play call there. Again, whatever that Cody Moore saw earlier, I think it's the same type of setup up front. The center is not covered up right now, and so running that guard trap right there, I mean, he's definitely got some room to make something happen.
3rd and 8 on the Bulldog 20-yard line. Cody Moore under center again. Actually, he's in the shotgun this time. A little bit of a wrinkle, 3rd and 8. He's going to be sprinting right. He's looking to run the football. Isaiah Reed in pursuit. He's got a lot of yards. Big pickup. Reed pushes him out of bounds, but
Cody Moore on the carry.
it's going to put him very close to first down, but I think they're short a couple yards, Dan.
It's hard for me to tell on this mark. I'm seeing the side judge here.
It is almost dead even. They're looking across.
They are saying 4th down.
It'll be 4th and 1. Big play for both teams again.
That play was a design run from the very beginning. There was no intention for Cody Moore to throw that.
It's a little bit tricky being in the shotgun. We expect to throw, but that is a run formation for the Bruins tonight. Timeout, Bulldogs, and they're going to talk it over. What do we want to do to stop the Bruins on 4th and 1?
A big play, really, for both sides on the field here, offensively and defensively. I think Coach is probably going to want to talk to his Bulldogs defensively and say, we probably better get somebody over the center right now and make a change, because if not, I would take the ball under center just like Cody Moore did earlier and get the first down and maybe even more.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you is, what did you think they might go to? I was going to have my eyes on Josh Valentine, the big kid, but you're right. If they're not covering the center, or if they're not, if they're giving up an A-gap, there's a good chance you'll see Cody Moore straight ahead.
Yeah, and that is a great option. I mean, Josh Valentine is one that's going to grind it out. He is in the game, ready to go. So, either one would be a great play for the Bruins. The Bulldogs here got to be thinking, we've got to make this stop. This would be pretty big for the Bulldogs if they can get this stop.
Big 73 Elijah Webb up front. And number 60 Carson Greider for the Bulldogs, looking to try to get a stop here. The give is to Valentine, off tackle to the left. He's got plenty of yards. Big hole off the left side.
Yeah, really good run. Looked like they came off the center line just a little bit for Josh to make that run. Luckily, the Bulldogs were able to at least to get him riled up, because he could have got all the way to the end zone here.
Well, that's going to, with 1 minute and 5 seconds and the clock running, we're first and goal from the 10-yard line. Bruins are going to have to be aware of the clock in this run-heavy offense. Don't know if they've got time to get 4 plays in, so we'll see how they manage the clock here late in the half. Snap, Moore, quick toss. George cuts it back. Big spin move. He's getting close. Down just short. Looks like the 1 or 2 yard line.
Yeah, very good job. I see the coaches screaming right here to get the timeout with 37 seconds left to go. A nice hard run. Quick toss out there to Gavin George to make some about 9 yards on the pickup.
Well, it'll be second and goal from the 2 yard line, and as we do have a timeout on the field, again, we'll thank our sponsors here. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results, with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties for all of your real estate needs. Contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he'll get the job done. So the Bulldogs now in a tough situation here. Obviously, they're going to be looking to try to shut down the inside run. They decided to quick toss outside. I guess that's about as much deception as you're probably going to get right about now, unless some sort of crisscross scissors type of trap. But I see them going straight ahead and trying to get this thing in the end zone.
Yeah, that would be the wise play here. No reason to get fancy.
Noah Page trading to the left side at tight end. Fumble. Cody Moore picks it up. He is retreating, giving ground. He needs to get to the sideline to get out of bounds. And they're going to wind the clock. There is a penalty flag down.
I kind of thought that was going to happen. We're going to get a couple flags here on the Bruins. The tackle is where it's going to come. The spinning around and then the slamming to the ground is where the flag is going to come in. And then it looked like some extracurricular after the play.
Well, that's what we had going on there, and the Bruins had a great break there with Cody getting thrown like that, because they were going to lose about 15 yards. And I think Cody was pretty upset with whatever was going on over there, and he jumped back up and started shoving the John Hardin tackler who had taken him to the ground. I didn't see who it was that had a hold of the back of his jersey there, but they're still talking it over here on the side. We got holding on the Bruins is one call. Personal foul on John Hardin for another call. And a personal foul on the Bruins.
Offsetting penalties.
I'm not sure where this ball is going to end up after all of that action, the offsetting, but you did have the hold as well. this is where the inexperience comes in a little bit, Paul. You know, that ball was fumbled off the snap. It's second down and goal from about the 2-yard line. That's where your quarterback, you just jump on it. You know, you've got time,
Right.
you've got the timeouts, keep the ball right there. No reason to try to make anything fancy happen. And then you just take the ball again from the 3-yard line instead of the 2 and play third down.
So they're going to go with Sean Hay at quarterback here. Cody Moore's pretty hot. He's still over here on the sideline, kind of trying to calm down after that play. They'll be in the shotgun. Sean Hay at quarterback now in the shotgun. Big number 83, normally a tight end. 3rd and 20. Bad snap on the shotgun. He's looking to throw the ball deep up the left side to Gavin George. Up high, catch! Touchdown, Bruins!
You know, that is one of those things, Paul, you talked about a little bit in pregame. We were talking off air a little bit about Sean Hay and his ability to throw the ball. That's one of those, when you got a player like Gavin George, you just throw it up and he went to go get it. That was exactly what happened. He went up and he made a play out of that.
Dan, that's just such a turnaround. You just can't even imagine. You're sitting back, 3rd and goal from the 20. It looks like your drive just got killed. You bring in a guy that throws his first ever high school pass, and it ends up in the end zone. Kick is up, and the Bruins will tack on the point after. That's Evan Jones knocking it through. It'll be Bruins 10, Bulldogs 6 with 18 seconds to go in the half.
I tell you what, that is pretty big. You mentioned that Sean Hay, been playing tight end. You know, he's been going in and out. I've seen him and Noah Page kind of subbing in and out at tight end. He gets the call. He gets dialed up. He goes in there, and the play call that says, throw this ball to Kevin George. And you know what? Great job. Just a great job. There's nothing else you can say.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it. It's an incredibly lucky play because, again, it's the kid's first snap as a quarterback in high school. The ball on the snap is rolled to him. I mean, it was a horrible shotgun snap. He picks the ball up. He's standing. Normally a right-handed quarterback points their left shoulder at the target and makes the throw. He's standing facing his target, not because necessarily he doesn't know what to do as a new quarterback, but because the ball's rolling on the ground on the shotgun snap, and he just wings it. Perfectly thrown high, and Gavin goes up and makes a play. Again, both those guys play on the basketball team, and it looked like he posted up and went up and got a rebound, or boxed out and went and got a rebound. Amazing. All right, well, Xander Allen to kick. We'll see what we got here. We got a pooch to the right side. Ball is going to roll out of bounds. Barely. That was dangerous. The John Hardin deep man again, actually that's number 3, Darian Davis, and he gambled and thought it was going out of bounds. It went out of bounds by about 6 inches.
I lost it there as it's kind of hidden behind the kicking net there. I could not tell if the ball was sitting on the sideline, but I thought this is ready to be deadly, but surely he knew that the ball was out of bounds already.
So John Hardin with 18 seconds to go. You would expect maybe they'll sit on it here, but again, with a big passing attack and a big receiver like Deshaun Johnson, you never know what they might try to dial up here with 18 seconds to go.
Illegal procedure against the Bruins.
They will take over at their own 40-yard line with 18 seconds to go in the half.
Begins and marches to 40.
You know, the way, the type of arm that Justin Russell has, he's got the big target, Deshaun Johnson. They may just try to see about throwing this ball. No, they're going to run it.
Straight ahead, that's Dominic Hodges again with the football, number 25. He'll pick up about 5 yards on the carry, maybe 6, leaving 2nd and 4, and the clock's going to run out, ending the first half. Central Hardin Bruins 10, John Hardin Bulldogs 6. Dan, wrap it up for us. What do you think about the first half?
Well, pretty exciting from our standpoint. Of course, we're not down there having to play in this game, but we've seen a lot of running. We've seen a turnover here, but really exciting game from our standpoint of watching these two teams grind it out.
Well, that's what we're seeing, and not surprising from Central Hardin. A little bit surprised from John Hardin that they are grinding it out. The big play on their offensive side was a run by Jalen Springs, 37 yards for a touchdown. Extra point, no good, and that's what leaves us 10-6. And we'll pick back up for the second half in just a little bit. Rejoin us then.
Representing the class of 2022 is our first freshman candidate, Mallory Reed. daughter of Chris and Linda Reed. She is a member of the Lady Bruin basketball team and pep club. Her awards include Young Achievers and the Principal's List. After high school, Mallory plans to attend college to study law with hopes of becoming a lawyer. Tonight, Mallory is escorted by Preston Keith. Ladies and gentlemen, Mallory Reed. Our second freshman candidate is Reagan Reed. Reagan is the daughter of Laura Reed and Tommy Reed. She is a member of the Lady Bruin volleyball and tennis teams. Reagan is also a member of the Y Club and All-A Honor Roll student and received the Young Achievers Award. In the future, Reagan plans to attend college and travel. She is escorted this evening by Nolan Goodman. Ladies and gentlemen, Reagan Reed. Our third freshman candidate is Lauren Best. Lauren is the daughter of Holly Chitwood and Alan Best. She is a member of the Lady Bruin volleyball team, Y Club, and the Pep Club. After high school, Lauren plans to attend the University of Kentucky and become a doctor. Escorting Lauren this evening is Hayden Ash. Ladies and gentlemen, Lauren Best. Our final freshman candidate is Lindsay Best. Lindsay is the daughter of Holly Chitwood and Alan Best. She plays volleyball as a Lady Bruin and is a member of the Y Club and Beta. Lindsay was also elected as the freshman class secretary. After high school, she plans to attend the University of Kentucky and major in engineering. Lindsay is escorted this evening by Corbin Durance. Ladies and gentlemen, Lindsay Best. Representing the class of 2021 is our first sophomore candidate, Allie Blair. Allie is the daughter of Leanne Blair. She is a member of the Lady Bruin volleyball team and competes in club volleyball. Allie is also a member of the Beta and Pep clubs, as well as executive council. She is an honor roll student on the FFA Cooperation Committee Executive Council and was selected for the FFA's Ag Sales team. In the future, Allie plans to attend college and major in a curriculum with an emphasis on pre-veterinary medicine to become a vet. Allie is escorted this evening by Colin Utley. Ladies and gentlemen, Allie Blair. Our second sophomore candidate is Ella Dodd. Ella is the daughter of Mike Dodd and Lori Dodd. She is active on the Lady Bruin soccer team, track and field, and is a member of the Y Club. Ella is also an honor roll student. In the future, she plans to pursue a career in massage or physical therapy. She is escorted this evening by Dan Torres. Ladies and gentlemen, Ella Dodd. The third sophomore candidate is Sydney Green. Sydney is the daughter of Ricky and Ben Green. She is a member of the Lady Bruin softball team, honor roll, and the FFA, where she earned and was awarded her Green Hand degree. After high school, Sydney plans to attend college and study psychology to become a psychologist or a counselor. Sydney is escorted this evening by Sawyer Mackey. Ladies and gentlemen, Sydney Green. The final sophomore candidate is Sarah Powers. Sarah is the daughter of Nick and Julie Powers. She is a member of the Lady Bruin volleyball team, Y Club, and the Pep Club. After high school, Sarah plans to study psychology at Villanova and work as a psychologist. Escorting Sarah this evening is Connor Perry. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Powers. Representing the class of 2020 is Haley Clark. Haley is the daughter of Eric and Tessie Clark. She is a member of the Lady Bruin varsity soccer team, varsity club, and Y Club. Haley is also an honor roll student. Her future plans include attending the University of Kentucky and becoming a veterinarian. Haley is escorted this evening by Alex Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, Haley Clark. The next two junior candidate is Michaela Mueller. Michaela is the daughter of Letitia and Jay Mueller. She does competitive cheer at Central Kentucky All-Stars and is a member of the Central Hardin Y Club and I-Lead EC3. Michaela was a member of the 2015 State Cheer Championship team and a 3-time regional cheerleading champion. She is also on the All-A honor roll. In the future, she plans to attend and cheer at the University of Louisville. She wants to major in pre-med with the goal of becoming an orthopedic surgeon. Tonight, she is escorted by her brother, Zach Mueller. Ladies and gentlemen, Michaela Mueller. Our third junior candidate is Hannah Pence. Hannah is the daughter of Chad and Leanne Pence. She is a member of the Central Hardin golf team and several clubs, including FCA and Beta Club. Hannah is also on the All-A honor roll. After high school, Hannah plans to attend college at Western Kentucky University and pursue a career in elementary education. Hannah is escorted this evening by Brady Reynolds. Ladies and gentlemen, Hannah Pence. The final junior candidate is Riley Reed. Riley is the daughter of Laura Reed and Tommy Reed. She is a member of the Y Club, Executive Council, and the Central Hardin tennis team. Riley is also an All-A honor roll student. After high school, she plans to attend the University of Kentucky and become a physical therapist. She is escorted this evening by Skylar Lucas. Ladies and gentlemen, Riley Reed. And finally, representing the class of 2019 are your senior candidates. The first senior candidate is Taylor Blakeman. Taylor is the daughter of Shannon Blakeman. She is a member of the Central Hardin cheerleading team. She is a member of the Central Hardin SAA State Cheerleading Championship team of 2015 and is a 3-time cheerleading region champion. After high school, Taylor plans to attend Western Kentucky University to study animal science and then become a vet tech. Tonight, she is escorted by her father, Philip David Blakeman. Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Blakeman. Our second senior candidate is Carol Lee Coleman. Carol Lee is the daughter of Mark and Cindy Coleman. She is a level 9 gymnast at Beckless Place Gymnastics and does track and field at Central Hardin. Carol Lee is a member of the Gilead Baptist Church Youth Group, Beta Club, Executive Council, Y Club, and FCA. She was honored as the Student of the Month for the Rotary Club and has held offices in Y Club and Pet Club, where she is the current Pet Club president. In the future, Carol Lee plans to attend the University of Kentucky or Bellarmine and pursue a degree in physical therapy. She wants to open a private practice to focus on athletic training. Carol Lee is escorted this evening by her father, Mark Coleman. Ladies and gentlemen, Carol Lee Coleman. Allie Simpson is the next senior candidate. She is the daughter of Trish and David Simpson. Allie is a member of Beta Club, Varsity Club, Y Club, and FCA. She also plays volleyball for the Lady Bruins and is on the Executive Council as Secretary. Upon graduation, Allie plans to attend college where she will play volleyball and major in nursing. She is escorted this evening by her father, David Simpson. Ladies and gentlemen, Allie Simpson. Our final senior candidate is Destiny Clark. Destiny is the daughter of Leslie and Brian Clark. She is the Vice President of the Executive Council. She is also an active member of the Varsity Club, Peer Club, and Friends of Rachel. She plays soccer for the Lady Bruins and also competes in Nelson County Elite Travel Soccer. Destiny is on the All-A honor roll and was the 2015 Defensive Player of the Year. After high school, Destiny plans to attend Eastern Kentucky University or the University of Kentucky and major in psychology. Destiny is escorted this evening by her father, Brian Clark. Ladies and gentlemen, Destiny Clark. At this time, we would like to introduce last year's homecoming queen, Maura Jeffries. Maura is the daughter of James and Kelly Jeffries. She currently attends the University of Kentucky and is majoring in business communications. She is escorted this evening by her father, James Jeffries. Ladies and gentlemen, Maura Jeffries. present our homecoming court.
Set the time for the war because
Your freshman princess is Mallory Reed.
if you extend halftime, you're allowed to do more. So,
Your sophomore princess is Allie Blair. Your junior princess is Riley Reed. And now your 2018 football homecoming queen is Taylor Blakeman. Congratulations to all the nominees and all the winners of homecoming court. On behalf of the student council, we would like to thank everyone who helped make this possible and all of the participants. Go Bruins!
So that was just sitting right perfectly in the line. So we thought I got my back and look at this, right? So it was a little bit of fuzzy red on the side of the scoreboard.
How much money have you been throwing away that could be going to your child's school?
Does it? Hey Abby, can you throw this away for us? But what about the box top?
What do you mean?
But it's free money for our school. Each one is worth 10 cents.
You mean this little square is worth 10 cents? How can that be?
Just think, if we saved up every one we have, it would add up fast. If every child saves 10 box top, our district will receive $15,000.
Wow, that's a lot of extra money for the schools.
Yeah, for books, sporting equipment, and computers.
Well, let's stop throwing away box tops and start saving money.
You can turn box tops directly into your child's school on a collection sheet or even just in a plastic bag. Don't have a child in the Hardin County School District? Just send them to your closest school or even to a family member that does. To see a complete list of products with box tops along with a printable collection sheet, visit boxtopsforeducation.com.
Turn Coca-Cola products into cash for the students of Hardin County Schools. Visit coke.com/give/schools on your computer or smartphone. Tap Scan Code. Scan the code with your camera or enter it manually. When you are finished, click Submit. Help the Hardin County Schools by just scanning your Coca-Cola products. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
I've been hunting for my son. No, I found him.
You gotta make more noise since it's not on.
And we're back for the second half of action here. Central Hardin Bruins have taken the lead right before halftime on a big pass from Sean Hay on his first snap from center as a quarterback, throwing the ball to Gavin George. Central Hardin Bruins 10 and the John Hardin Bulldogs 6. The Bulldogs scored on a big 37-yard run from Jalen Springs on a 4th and 7. So 2 big game-changing plays and set us up for the second half. Dan, what do you expect to see?
Well, you know, I think that the ground and pound action that we were seeing earlier in the game between the two, it would be what I would dial back up. Again, you know, Central Hardin still has to keep possession of the ball, and they know with the inexperienced quarterback, Cody Moore, that is going to be their best bet. John Hardin, I really like the way they're running the ball early on. They did mix it up a little bit, getting Deshaun Johnson involved, and I think you've got to find a way to get him involved. I mean, he's just too big of a weapon just to have standing out there stock blocking. But I expect definitely a heavy dose of run action again.
Well, that's been impressive on both sides of the ball. John Hardin, very effective. They've had a couple of drives that stalled, one by interception, a turnover deep in Bruin territory, a second on a 4th down where they couldn't quite pick it up and turned it over on down. So they've been effective moving the football. They've only got 1 touchdown to show for it at this point. Low-scoring affair at 10-6, but both teams maybe even a little more effective than I expected to see offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I was kind of watching a little bit of their warm-up as they came out from the half. You know, Cody Moore taking some snaps to throw the ball. So it looks like that the Bruins are probably going to give him a shot back at it. But a good job on their part. He was definitely heated and needed to come out of the game at that point.
That's right. We had a couple of personal fouls and a holding penalty just before lightning struck in the Bruins. Sean Hay hit a big pass to Gavin George for a touchdown. So we'll pick up here in the second half, and it's going to be important probably for both teams to establish the run as they've been doing, which is a little bit surprising for John Hardin. John Hardin, I think Dan's got to take care of the football if they're going to win.
Absolutely, I think that's got to. I mean, that's definitely key to the game for Coach Ingstrom and his kids. You know, take care of the ball. Don't do anything. You know, don't shoot yourself in the foot. Be smart, and I think if they're able to do that, I think they can definitely get down here and put some points on the board and keep this game interesting.
Well, we saw them several weeks ago against North Hardin again in a devastating 31-0 loss. Really kind of fade late in the game. They looked really good in the first half. They turned it over a couple times and really could have been up in the first half in that ball game. The way they performed, they just didn't put it in the end zone. They turned the ball over and they just came out in the second half and got run over. So we're going to have to see if they have learned anything, if conditioning is not as much of a factor. They've got to take care of the ball and get back in the ball game here. It will be John Hardin kicking off, deep to receive. Looks like Gavin George and Kyler Lee back to receive for the Bruins. Standing at their 15-yard line, it'll be Zach Owens to kick.
Yeah, if Zach Owens learned anything earlier, he knows do not kick it to Gavin George.
Well, we'll see. They've got the ball lined up almost on the right hash. That's the hash that Kyler Lee is standing on. Gavin George on the opposite hash. And it's a squib kick. Kicked out of bounds. So the Bruins will start off with great field position.
Yeah, I still do not understand a little bit of this gamesmanship of the pooch kicks and things like that. That ball was sailing out of bounds and had no chance at all of landing in bounds.
Well, the young kicker, I believe Zach's a sophomore, the young kicker caught it. It looked like just a little bit low. He wanted to maybe get a squib off, and he kind of hit it a little low, and it went high and sailed over everybody's head out of bounds. The Bruins will take over 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. So great field position to start with for the Bruins. And we'll see if they can continue to run the football effectively against this John Hardin 4-man front. 1st and 10. Give is to George and pounded deep in the backfield. Number 52 in the backfield.
Dominic Hope looked like that he knew the play, almost like he was in the huddle of the Bruins because he was there as soon as Gavin received that ball on the handoff.
Good to see Dominic Hope making a big play. He limped off the field early in the second quarter, and big play to start the half. That's going to set the Bruins behind the sticks. They're at about 2nd and 16 now from their own 38-yard line. Tough when you don't have that passing attack to catch back up to the chains. And it'll be a quarterback sneak straight ahead. Cody Moore running over several tacklers for about a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, and you know, looked again there. Dominic Hope came free again. I'm not sure if they're just leaving him unblocked or what, but I mean, he was in the backfield. Luckily, the Cody Moore was already upfield with the ball, but Dominic Hope came free again.
To bring up a 3rd and 12 for the Bruins from their own 42-yard line. Again, a difficult circumstance for any football team, but especially a team that has now attempted just one pass on the game. A pretty effective one, but they are going to be in a difficult spot here. They are going to line up overbalanced left. Cody Moore in the shotgun, and they're going to give to Gavin George on a wide sweep. He's giving ground, and he is going to be dropped for a big loss. Bad first series, as it looked like it was number 12 from John Hardin.
George tackled by Nelson for a loss.
13 actually, or 15. I'm sorry, Trevor Nelson, who's made several plays.
Yeah, and that was one of those plays going east and west. They were never able to turn upfield to get anything going. And it's just a very bad series for the Bruins here, starting off the second half.
Well, that brings up 4th and 19, and Noah Page is back in punt formation. Again, they have been very effective offensively running the football, and that was a disastrous start to the half. 2 Bulldogs back deep. The punt is blocked. 56, Isaiah Reed in. The ball is going to be out of bounds, and John Hardin will take over deep in Bruin territory. Disastrous beginning for the Bruins. Celebration on the sideline for the Bulldogs. They're going to have a lot of energy coming out here with the football.
You know, I did not have a stopwatch on that play, but the ball from snap was great. Noah Page is holding on to that way too long, and Isaiah Reed was able just to bust through and get up. I mean, he didn't have to jump very high to get some hands on that ball.
Well, we haven't called his name very much. He is their leading tackler. He was a force against North Hardin, but tonight haven't heard his name, but there he is. Big playmaker making the big play, and John Hardin takes over 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line of the Bruins. 4 wide receivers, actually empty backfield. Motion. Jalen Springs with the ball off the left side. He breaks one tackle and he's down to about the 11-yard line.
You know, Jalen Springs may have earned himself a few extra carries after that nice run that he had in the first half.
Spring on the carry.
That's another nice carry. That's going to bring up about a 2nd and 3 after a pickup of 7 yards. They'll be at about the 13-yard line, actually, of the Bruins. Again, 4 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Springs in the backfield with Justin Russell. Ready for the snap, calling for motion. Give inside to Springs, 2 men there. Kyler Lee, first contact.
Yeah, really nice job there defensively for the Bruins to put a stop on the run for Jalen Springs.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and short. He picked up a yard. It'll be 3rd and 2. They're looking to get the 9-yard line for a first down.
Bulldogs got to be cautious. Don't get too fancy with it.
Interesting formation. Empty backfield on 3rd and 2. Motion, Kaysen, fake, throw, inside, almost picked off. They were going for Deshaun Johnson.
You know, again, number 54, we do not have a name on him here, but he was sitting right there in the hook where that ball was going. And, you know, to kind of set it right before the play, they don't need to get fancy. I mean, you're sitting at 3rd and 2, you know, on the 12-yard line. Why are you doing that? This doesn't make much sense.
Well, got away from what's been working, which is the run game, and it's going to be number 23 in the backfield, Will Kaysen, on 4th and 2. They'll give this time. Stuck in the backfield. Big play by the Bruins. I don't think they got it, Dan.
I don't think so either. It looked like that they needed to get to the 9-yard line, and it looked like it was stopped short of the 10.
Well, Josh Valentine comes through. Again, we've been looking for him to make a big play, and his presence is felt now with a huge hit in the backfield. He blitzed, came through, wrapped up, no gain.
Yeah, that's a big turnover on downs right there for the Bulldogs, giving the ball back to the Bruins. You know, had a nice series. Bruins only went backwards on their series. Blocked punt. Bulldogs were sitting nice to put some points on the board and giving the ball right back to the Bruins now.
So Cody Moore under center here for the Bruins. They've got the ball on their own 11-yard line, 1st and 10. Overbalanced set to the left. Valentine off the left side. He's got a lot of space. About a 10-yard pickup. It's Isaiah Reed on the tackle.
Yeah, another nice job up front for the Bruins, setting up some nice blocks, letting Josh Valentine go to work there a little bit, and that is the recipe that I would call for the Bruins right now.
Valentine's going to come out for a break, and Kyler Lee will take his place. John Hardin, big number 73, Elijah Webb in the middle there looking for a stop, along with his teammates. Wing to the left, give straight ahead to Kyler Lee. This time they're all over it. Number 32, Navash Daly, the second leading tackler for the Bruins, all over that.
Yeah, they did not fool the Bulldogs on that play at all. They dialed up the exact same one that they had a minute ago with Josh Valentine, but the Bulldogs were able to stuff it this time.
Well, that'll bring up a second and 11, maybe a short loss on the play. And Cody Moore has received the play from the sideline. He's going to the huddle again. He's running back and forth from the coaches. We saw a delay a game earlier. We'll see if they can get this play off. Hunter Mitchell wide right. Taylon Ferris in the wing. Overbalance set to the right. Give inside again to the fullback. Kyler Lee, big cut back to the left. He's going to pick up a first down and rumbling over John Hardin tacklers for about a 22-yard gain.
I tell you what, I really like the style of Kyler Lee on that carry, running the ball. He's got both hands over top of it. He's keeping it secure. I think he's probably been told, don't you lose this ball. And I really like the style of run that he just showed us.
Well, they've taken him out after two great run plays there. In fact, to Josh Valentine, they are first and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Cody Moore gives, looks like Valentine off the left side again. 4-yard carry.
It didn't look like he was going to get much out of that play. It looks like that he kind of met at the line of scrimmage and just kind of keeping his feet moving. Linemen keeping their feet moving as well on blocks. He's able to follow him behind and pick up a nice 4 or 5 yards.
Ibarra checks in, I think, for the first time. Number 21, Andrew Ibarra. I haven't seen him in the game yet, but he's checked in now as they're starting to rotate in the second half. Second down and 6 from their own 46-yard line. Mitchell wide to the left. Give to Gavin George off the left tackle side. He makes 2 cuts. One left, one right, and then picks up the first down.
Nice call there on the buck sweep. Gavin George is doing a good job of keeping his eyes on his lead block and turning it up in time. The last time they ran that in the last series, he kept stretching it to the sideline and had a big loss, but this time he turns it up when he needed to.
Well, big play for the Bruins as they started this drive on their own 11-yard line. We're now all the way out to the John Hardin 45, over the 50-yard line. First and 10 from the left hash mark. Gavin George is at the left wing. Cody Moore under center. Fake. We're going to have a rollout to the right on the waggle pass. It looks like Cody Moore's looking to run the football. We got a flag on the play.
Another flag on play. It's probably in the vicinity of a hold again. Again, yeah, illegal block. Cody's rolling out here, and I don't see, he's got the ball tucked away as soon as he's rolling. He's not giving any threat. He's not, making the defense freeze, showing that he might throw the ball at all. But he may have it tucked away just for ball security.
There are guys in routes. Receivers are running pass patterns, but he's not looking. He's not looking to throw the football. I think maybe they're telling him if he's got somebody wide open at the beginning of the play to let it go. Otherwise, tuck it and go. If you don't see something you like immediately, we're just going to go ahead and run the football. So big holding penalty. First and 22 now back on their own 42-yard line. Off tackle left to Josh Valentine. It's a nice pickup of 5, but it's going to still leave second and long.
Valentine on the carry.
Yeah, it's nice to get a few yards back off of that, but they are definitely working from a long field on this second down now.
Middle of the field on their own 47-yard line. Valentine will check back out. It looks like Kyler Lee will check back in. Cody Moore again at quarterback here. We've got overbalance set to the left. Wing T left. Wide receiver Hunter Mitchell left. Taylon Ferris in motion. They're going to quick toss him the ball out wide. He's picking up good yards. He's going to get back almost maybe a yard shy of the original line of scrimmage.
They're definitely going to give him a chance here. It's going to be about 3rd and 11 to try to make something happen out of this next play. I really like the play. It's a quick toss, and you've got Taylon already almost at full speed as that toss. He's handing that ball. There is a key block that has to be made on the outside to make sure that this happens, and it looks like he was able to get that.
Well, the good news for the Bruins on that is a lot of their wide runs have resulted in holding calls. At least that time they were able to get the play off and execute it without that kind of a mistake. Well, that leaves us with about 3rd and 12. from the John Hardin 48-yard line. Again, in the shotgun this time. Give to Gavin George on the left side. A lot of space. Gavin George turning it up. First down, Bruins.
Yeah, nice job right there on the run from Gavin George. He had some lead blocks out there. I think he had a nice stock block from the receiver that was out there. Oh, no, it was the tight end. It was a Sean Hay coming off, making a nice block out there in space for Gavin George to get the last yard or two he needed for the first down.
Dan, they've run that play 3 or 4 times where they've got an overbalanced formation. And 2 extra men to the left in that shotgun and just running a wide sweep play. You might call it an outside zone or a wide sweep play, but I'd expect John Hardin to adjust and see that.
They have not slid to it.
Not same formation, but similar formation. Tight end right this time. Not the extra man there. They're going to come back to the tight end, though. Big block out in front. Gavin George, big yards. That was Kyler Lee driving a man about 15 yards downfield.
I tell you what, I love it. I love to see a guy, you know, who's not receiving the ball. He's not running the ball a whole lot, but he's getting out there and he's earning his keep by putting blocks on. For me as a coach, that's how a guy earns some carries.
I believe that was number 15, Nelson, who's made a lot of plays tonight. He was on skates. Kyler Lee was in his chest and just driving him back. So big first down play there for a big pickup. And we're going to have 1st and 10 Bruins from the John Hardin 15-yard line. It's on the right hash. We've got a wing tee set to the left, overbalanced with a wide receiver also to the left. Give inside to Valentine on the fullback trap.
Valentine on the carry.
The hole closed up pretty quick for Valentine, and he decided to kind of take this ball left. He actually had a little bit more room to the right, but his eyes were already upfield. And I'm not sure what happened on that play, but the Bulldogs did a great job of closing that hole up.
Yes, up inside. Webb and Carson Grider, did a great job of just shutting that fullback trap down. Made it a mess in there, and he had to try to break it wide, bringing up a 2nd and 11, a loss of a yard. Again, Cody Moore under center. Quarterback sneak again. They'll pick up a few more yards, get back ahead of the sticks for a 3rd and long.
The Bulldogs keep giving the center open. They're not lining up. They're not shading the center. They're not giving anything there. So anytime that the Bruins need to get 3 or 4 yards, he can definitely take the snap and go right over top of it.
So from 2nd and 11, that's going to bring him down to 3rd and 7 after a pickup of 4 on the quarterback sneak. You got to think, well, possibly in field goal range if they don't pick it up. But it could be a 2-down situation with 2 runs. Bruins don't have to panic. Motion, Taylor Ferris gives straight ahead on fullback trap again. Ball's loose on the ground. The fullback trap fumbled by Josh Valentine. Big, violent hit in the hole.
It was a big hit. It was Navash Daly, number 32, on the big hit. Came in. He really hit Josh as soon as he got the ball. He did not have a chance at all on it, and it looked like the Bulldogs were able to recover that and get the ball back.
Well, between Daly, Reed, and Kaysen, and Webb, several of these big playmakers that they've got on the defensive side of the football. Big stop again. These guys are doing a great job up front, hanging in there. It looked like they were about to break, but not this time. Bend but don't break.
Looks like Valentine's coming out from linebacker. He's going to have to get somebody in there.
Replacement will be 61 Mason Trout. Or will it? Timeout Bruins. They could not get their personnel on the field, figure out who they needed to put in for Josh Valentine as he came off the field. That was a big hit by Navash Daly. He's made a lot of big plays, and Josh is over here getting wrapped.
Now that play is a little interesting on here because the referee actually sent Valentine off the field. And so he sent him off the field. Then the Bruins had to call a timeout to get somebody back in. I'm not sure what was going on. Typically on something like that, it's an equipment issue. But I could not tell what was going on.
Could have been a blood issue as well. He may have had a little blood on him and had to get off and get cleaned up. Referees are having a conversation.
Yeah, they're waving off the timeout.
I was going to say I didn't know if they were going to charge the timeout or wave it off, but it looks like they're going to wave it off, so the Bruins will keep their timeout. Again, Justin Russell will line up ready to take the snap. Empty backfield. Jalen Springs in motion. Quick slant. Picked off Taylon Ferris. Up the right sideline. He's got one man to beat. Down to the 3-yard line. Flag coming out late. Probably a block in the back.
I'm not sure where this flag is coming. If this flag is coming at the point of attack, I hate to say it, that's a bad call. It was really close on it, and from this back judge to throw it, he was about 45 yards away.
He threw his flag as well as the ball was thrown there. That was a very errant pass. Darian Davis, number 3, was the intended receiver on a slant. And the ball was just thrown way out in front. Taylon Ferris made a great break on the football, and it hit him in the chest.
It is, and again, this is I'm gonna just have to say it. I mean, the John Hardin Bulldogs have just got to keep it simple in this case. You've been able to handle the Bruins with the run. I'm not sure why they feel like they have to go back to the pass. I know it's kind of who they are, but right now it hasn't been a very good play, and Russell really wasn't looking. He just slung it. Because if he was looking there, he knew that was a bad spot to throw it to.
At the very least, he was early because the receiver had not gotten to the hole in the zone yet. It was thrown out there, like you said, just winged. And so Central Hardin will take over 1st and 10 on about the 19-yard line. Quick toss to Gavin George. He makes a nice catch. He's trying to get outside. He breaks one tackle short.
Yeah, good job. Again, you're asking a lot when you do these quick tosses like that. You see we got a couple of our big linemen, they're the big linemen that are trying to get out there in space to make some blocks on some skill guys. If they can make the block, it can bust it open, but if they don't, those guys could be setting Gavin up for a big hit.
2nd and 7 after a gain of 3. They're going to be on the John Hardin 17-yard line. And again, we talked about from the beginning, the turnovers were the big thing. Russell had 7 interceptions coming into the game. He's thrown 2 more tonight, negating the good play in the shotgun. Give to Gavin George on the left side. Great cut to the outside again. Deep into John Hardin territory. 1st and goal.
Yeah, really nice play. It did not look like the play got off. The handoff exchange between Moore and George wasn't the best, but Gavin was able to make something happen out of that.
1st and goal from the 7-yard line. The Bruins are substituting. Gavin George coming out after taking a hit there. And Taylon Ferris back in. He's had a rest after his interception and run back. So he'll be in the backfield. He's set to the left in the wing formation. Snap. Give to Valentine. He's going to get – they stood him up at the goal line there. Isaiah Reed making a big play. Yeah. It looked like he was going to go in the end zone.
It looked like he was going to walk right into the end zone, and big Isaiah Reed was able to be there to wrap him up, and that's 2 big bodies. When Valentine and Reed hit each other, that's a big collision happening.
So a number of the Bulldogs there to make the stop. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. They, again, off the turnover, the big interception by Taylon Ferris from the hand of Justin Russell. Trying to convert that into points, and this would be big for the Bruins to take a 2-score lead. 10-6 with 1:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's already late 3rd quarter. With all the running we're seeing, it's the clock's winding. It's moving quick, and so we got overloaded backfield left. Moore to take the snap. Given, they are stuffed. 2nd effort, 3rd effort. It's a scrum, Dan.
I tell you what, I could not. That play looked like it was dead in the backfield from the handoff. And again, I'm going to reference the Marshawn Lynch play, but that's what it looked like. It looked like it was 11 on 11, and it was the scrum. Who's going to get? Who's going to win?
Scrum. It looked more like a dog pile, like you'd see in the backyard playing football, than a football play. It totally went sideways as far as the play itself, but just effort by the Bruins up front and from their running back, and they'll tack on the extra point there. Evan Jones knocking it through once again, and Bruins 17, Bulldogs 6.
Yeah, I guess it was Valentine on the carry.
Valentine.
But do you really credit him with the touchdown, or do you have to give it to the other 10 guys out there that were assisting? I even saw Cody Moore in there giving a push.
Again, Dan, it looked like a rugby scrum. I couldn't recognize any particular player except for the fact that all 22 of them seemed to just be in a pile pushing it. You know, it looked a little bit like, when you talk about soccer, it's all about spacing. But when you watch 3- and 4-year-olds play soccer, it's the beehive. They're all standing around chasing the ball together. And it looked a little bit like that with everybody on the football.
Absolutely. We knew that the ball was in there somewhere. And for the Bruins, luckily it turned out for them that it ends up in the end zone, and they're able to put 6 on the board. And the way that the clock is running, you kind of mentioned this a little bit ago with this ground and pound game that we got going on. We're almost already done with the third quarter, so it could be in a case if the Bulldogs aren't able to get on the board quickly, it could mean some disaster for them.
Well, the Bulldogs do have the capability to throw the football. They could up the tempo to try to get back in this thing, but we did see in the first quarter each team had the ball one time, and if that were to hold true again, that's a problem for the Bulldogs right now if the Bruins can run clock, and it'll be Xander Allen back to kick off, number 87. He's going to kick deep this time and over the head of the Bulldogs into the end zone.
That's what we saw. We saw Xander during the halftime warm-up, and he was booting the ball to the end zone. We were like, well, he can kick it to the end zone. Might as well do it, especially when the last Bulldog was lined up on the 20-yard line. Kick it over their heads, and you don't have to worry about the return.
Yeah, Dan, you commented on that at halftime. Why are they continuously, squib kicking, pooch kicking, when it appears as though they have a kicker that can kick in the end zone, and the Bulldogs standing on the 20 or 25-yard line. Well, there you go. Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. Again, a little bit behind because great play by the Bruins. Give up inside, back to the run for about a 3 or 4 yard gain. It looks like, again, it's number 23, Will Kaysen, I believe, on the carry.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Will Kaysen early on in this game. The last series, it looked like that he was kind of losing some carries to Jalen Springs. But he definitely is a nice runner for him.
They've been running real well over Chance Hutchinson on the left side, number 53 for John Hardin. Went left again that time. Again to the left side. Hutchinson on Zach Jones, doing a good job. Flag on the play.
Again, I believe this is going to be in the vicinity of a hold call, and I think the guilty party here is going to be the receiver trying to block on the outside.
Again, a great block by Chance Hutchinson, 53, on the toughest defender probably for the Bruins, Zach Jones. But yeah, out on the outside, the receivers engaged with the linebacker, hanging on.
It's really important, with teaching stock blocking. These receivers got to keep their hands on the inside. I think it was the case here where his hands got outside the shoulder pads, and it's going to get called.
Stock blocking for those receivers is more about moving their feet than getting their hands out, and so he did not do that on that play. 4 wide receivers, 2nd and 12 now. Give straight ahead again. This time again, Kaysen breaks 2 tackles. Big carry. Boy, Isaiah Reed just blowing somebody back 15 yards. Josh Valentine getting wore out at that time by Isaiah Reed.
Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit, or is the game getting later and later? You got a guy like Josh Valentine playing both ways now. Are his legs starting to get the best of him?
Well, big 13, 14-yard pickup for a first down. Give again to Will Kaysen off the left side, continuing to get big yards on the left side. Good block by 3, Darian Davis out on the outside.
Yeah, a much better job in the case of where we see the stock block. He did. He was able to get his hands inside, kept moving his feet, and able to move this ball from the running back here.
Kaysen a little shaken up on the play. He's gonna come off the field, and it looks like Dominic Hodges is going to check back in. But that's going to bring up a 2nd and 2. And Dan, we were talking about what in the world were they doing throwing that pass last time when they've been so successful running the football, and here they come out and they are just moving it right down the field, running the football again.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I see this John Hardin team, and we've seen, 3, 4 different guys carry the ball and run, and they've done a great job. So, I mean, obviously he's got some great running backs.
Hodges this time stacked up. Could not create space that time.
Yeah, good job there for the Bruins defensive front, able to kind of hold these guys up a little bit. The Bulldog front was not able to get the movement that they were getting in earlier on, and that's going to take us to 4th quarter.
Well, Dylan Butterworth on the stop there, and at the end of the 3rd, Central Hardin Bruins 17, John Hardin Bulldogs 6. Again, it'll bring up a 3rd and 3, and we'll take a minute here to, again, point out our sponsors. Thank our sponsors. Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable, unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900 online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. Well, we go into the 4th quarter, and the Bulldogs have the football, and they're down 2 scores, down 11 points, and they need to sustain this drive. This 3rd down is a must at this point.
Absolutely. Just kind of give a little, again, go to my Twitter feed here. Elizabethtown is really taking care of Thomas Nelson at this point. They're up 40-7. The clock is running in Bardstown right now. North Hardin seems to be handling the North Bullet at this point. They're up 35-7. And just take a look at it. It looks like Eric Moore has thrown at least a couple of three touchdowns at this point right now. So looks like that's what I got right now. And the last one I give is the LaRue County up on Hart County. They're down in Hart County, I think, tonight, and they're up 14-6 right now.
Well, good results for our area teams, and we're battling it out here at Central Hardin with a crosstown rivalry game. Both coaches, at least we know, Coach Mattingly was talking about the rivalry in pregame, noting that John Hardin had dominated this matchup for years and years, but over the last 4, it's really become a rivalry when Central Hardin's won 3 of the last 4. So John Hardin, 3rd and 2 from their own 39-yard line. Russell takes the snap, fake, looking down the field. He's going to break, contain, and run the football. Looks like he picks up the 1st down on the left sideline.
The defense of the Bruins there recognized something during the pre-snap. The safeties were pulled up, and I saw as he was kind of going through his cadence, the next thing you know, the safeties were starting to back out. So they saw something in the pre-snap. So got to definitely, the Bruin coaching staff has done their homework on this. So they saw something, and they were getting it out there because he was looking downfield at Deshaun Johnson.
All right, 1st and 10. Give up inside. It's Kaysen it's Hodges with the football this time. It'll be about a 4-yard pickup, 3 or 4-yard pickup. It'll bring up, I believe, 2nd and 6. And they're now still on their side of the 50, but John Hardin, 2nd and 6 from the 46-yard line.
Yeah, going back to the bread and butter here in this case, what's worked for them tonight, the run. My advice is stick with it.
Russell takes a snap. He's going to scramble again around the left side. He's holding the ball very dangerously in one hand.
Yeah, those are those types of play. You get someone chasing you from behind. Next thing you know, that ball's on the ground, and you could turn it over. Coaching staff for John Hardin's got to get on him about that. That is a dangerous play.
Ball security, and they've had some problems with turnovers, and that did not look good. However, big pickup, 2 scrambles for 1st downs here in the last 3 plays, and so even though he's not finding open receivers, he's using his legs to pick up 1st downs. Give to Springs around the right side. He's trying to break contain. He's jumping over hurdling defenders. Down he goes, Noah Page on the tackle.
Yeah, another good run by Jalen Springs on that. It looks like that we got a flag in the middle of the field.
Flag on the play.
I'm not sure. I did not see where the flag came from in this case. But I'm going to go back a little bit and talk a little bit about Justin Russell on the previous 2 passing plays where he scrambled. He's looking at his first read and it's not there, and he's pulling the ball down. I think that's a great option for him right now. He doesn't want to throw another interception after throwing 2 tonight, so and he can definitely do it with his feet.
He may be under orders from the coaches to make that kind of a play. In other words, to look 1, 2, or maybe just 1, and then go ahead and tuck it and go. I did notice that Thomas Greer was playing in the slot for the last 2 or 3 plays instead of Deshaun Johnson. He was out for a rest. Johnson back on the field now in the slot on the right side. We've got 4 wide receivers. 1st and 17 from their own 45. Back to throw, looking quickly up the seam to Johnson. Thrown behind.
Right now, he is looking at 1 player, and that is number 13. Deshaun Johnson, as he comes up limping here a little bit. I'm not sure what happened, but he's making his first read off him. If it's not there, it looks like he's going to pull it down and run.
So Greer back in, Johnson hobbling off the field. That's really bad news for the Bulldogs, as they need to be able to move the football and score quickly. and their major receiving threats out. Give. That springs again off the left side. Great jump cut to the left for a couple more yards. He picks up 7. He'll be back to the
Straight
line
on
of
the
scrimmage.
carry.
The original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was on the tackle, but a great job. Open field tackling is a big deal. And it looks like it was number 22, Trenton Ferguson, coming up from the safety position to make that tackle. But another great job open field tackle there.
Well, that'll leave us 3rd and 11. I thought he'd gotten all the way back to the original line of scrimmage, but he's 1 yard shy of it. That's 3rd and 11 now. And it's getting a little desperate, Dan, right now. At 10 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter, down 2 scores. They've got to make something happen here. I got to think this is 4-down territory. They need a completion or a pickup of some kind here. Looks like Russell's got some space. Wide open down the field, number 2. Trent Ferguson falls, and number 2 for John Hardin. That is Markelius Hill, wide open down the field, blown coverage on the sprint out.
Well, I tell you what, it was really nice coverage. As Justin Russell made this turn here a little bit, he was getting close to that line of scrimmage. The defensive backs broke off and started coming up to play the run. And I was watching the line of scrimmage. It was close. It was really close for him to be over that line of scrimmage. But I think he was behind it on that throw.
Well, Dan, I looked up and I was thinking, I can't believe he's going to throw the ball. It looked like he had 10 yards to run the football easily. And when I looked back and saw Markelius Hill standing by himself, they're going to go for 2. Russell, quick toss to Darian Davis. He'll walk into the end zone. And so what was a 17-12 game now is a 17-14 game, and they've cut it to 3. Field goal could tie it.
Yeah, you were just talking about that, that clock was running. They need to make something happen. And they were able to make it happen, obviously, right now, as they're now sitting in a much better position, only being down 3 points. And I really like with the combination, we're hitting with the run, and they were able to make a touchdown, throwing the ball. Deshaun Johnson was not in the game.
Well, I will say, Markelius Hill, I've seen John Hardin play against North Hardin at home 2 weeks ago. And Markelius Hill, who just made that big reception, he is listed in the he's played a lot of defense. He's listed in the defensive stats. Not listed in the offensive stats. Markelius Hill has not played a lot of offense, but good move by the coaches. They've obviously seen something out of the defensive back where they need to get him the football. And, boy, he made a big play.
Sometimes your number gets dialed up in just different situations, and he may have been in the game for Deshaun Johnson at that point, and he was able to hold to his route. He didn't break it off, and he stayed true to it. And Justin Russell just did a great job of finding him deep, wide open, and then he just did the rest with his feet.
So 9:42 to play in the 4th quarter. We've got a ball game again here. Central Hardin Bruins 17. The John Hardin Bulldogs with a big touchdown and 2-point conversion to be at 14. Down 3. Owens to kick off. He is going to onside kick. Big bounce, but it's going to roll out of bounds. It took the kind of bounce you want, but kicked a little too hard, and the Bulldogs couldn't cover it.
Yeah, a little bit too hard, and fortunately for the Bruins, that ball was able to go out because I'm not sure who was the first person to try to get to that ball, but they were not able to wrangle it in and made that bounce right over top of their head, and luckily, again, for the Bruins, it was able to go out of bounds.
Looked like Sean Hay, who's the tight end, threw the touchdown pass in the first half. Great athlete over there, but the ball took a bounce and went right over his shoulder pads, and in no way he could make that play on the football there. So the Bruins will take over great field position again. Their own 48-yard line, they'll take over 1st and 10. In the shotgun, Cody Moore, everybody to the left. And they're running that sweep play to the left when they've got a big overbalanced set to the left.
Yeah, they were not able to get the block sealed off by the wing on the opposite side. And really, the Bulldogs were able to get some penetration on that play. And you got to be careful here. They can't afford to have Gavin George banged up.
15, Trevor Nelson was on the tackle, and again, doing a great job of calling his name a lot. He was in there on the play from his outside linebacker position. That'll bring up 2nd and 11. Bruins from their own 47-yard line. Under center. Slot wing to the left. Give to Josh Valentine straight ahead. Stacked up. 32, Navash Daly, one of the first to get there, but a lot of them there.
There we got downfield. We got flag on the play down the field. It looks like that we're going to have something. We had 2 offensive linemen for the Bruins down on, it looks like either a safety or a corner, making a big block down the field that was totally out of the play. Probably going to get a personal foul called here.
And that's Trevor Nelson, the outside linebacker they were blocking way downfield. And he's down on the ground right now trying to stretch out what looks like a calf muscle. Their trainer's going to come onto the field while the officials still try to figure this thing out.
Official timeout.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a cramp. This is HCEC-TV student production, division of the Hardin County Schools. Just special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. Well, we get a chance here for both teams to kind of get a little bit of a rest. We've been going pretty steady here with the running of the ball. I'm not sure if we had much of a break during that last quarter.
I agree. That will probably be a good deal for both these teams to just kind of catch their breath. They are marking off this penalty against the Bruins. It was a personal foul. Man, that's going to put them behind the sticks. That is a horrible penalty for them. It's probably... We've seen some crazy plays in this game, but I can't imagine them picking up about a third and about 25.
Yeah, and right now their big playmaker Gavin George is on the sideline. Looks like he's being tended to for some cramping at this point.
A big play, big mistake. Straight ahead, Josh Valentine running over tacklers. Isaiah Reed will bring him down. After a big pickup of about 12 yards, we were still 13 yards short of the first down.
Yeah, I think you got to play the sticks here a little bit. Not that the Bruins have been fantastic with their punting game, but I think here's an opportunity that they probably just need to punt this ball away and play a little bit of defense.
Well, in their own end, ball spotted on about the 43-yard line of the Bruins. The punt team will come onto the field. Jalen Springs will head back deep for the Bulldogs. He's made a lot of big plays tonight. He'll be looking for another one here, depending on if they can deliver him the football. So Noah Page, who's been streaky tonight, had some problems, gotten a kick blocked and several other issues. We'll see if we can handle it and get it out. Snap. Kick is away. Good kick handled by Jalen Springs. He's got a little space to make a move. Cuts back a lot of Bruins there. Hunter Mitchell on the tackle, along with number 53 there. That's Justin Hensley.
Yeah, it was a nice punt by Noah Page. It looks like that they've net about 25 yards off of it at the end of the day. And for I think right now the Bruins just got to be happy with that they were able to at least get the punt off.
So the Bulldogs, 7:48 remaining in the game, down 3. Right back in it with an opportunity here, starting at their own 35-yard line. Justin Russell taking the field.
Bulldogs got 12 men on the field.
Yeah, they got too many men on the field, and number 7 is quickly, Andre Love Pendergrass is getting off the field quickly there. Empty backfield, trips into the boundary on the right-hand side. Springs in motion. He'll take the give wide on the jet sweep. Looking for blocking, cutting back. Short game.
Yeah, it almost started to look a little similar to his last carry where he was able to bust out and break back against the grain. That pursuit angle drill that we always work on defensively is a big deal right there for the Bruins to stay down the line and make sure he does not have a lane to cut back on.
He was trying to follow big number 60, Carson Greider, who was pulling. We've got a Bruin player down on the field.
We got a Bulldog down as well.
Wow. Well, again, while we've got a break in the action, I will note again that you should tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Communications on Channel 184. Special thanks to our HCEC-TV crew. That includes our own Hardin County students and the great job that they're doing with their television production here. Again, Brandenburg Telecom is providing service for all of your telecom needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Barstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com.
Allie Blair.
Looks like it was Jalen Springs that was down for the Bulldogs, but he is up now and has made his way to the sideline. He seems to be okay. We've got a Bruin down as well now, and it seems that he's being tended to a little more cautiously.
Dan, I'm scanning the field and the boys on the side here, 62 maybe, Zach Jones.
Could be. He's coming up with a leg.
Right leg.
I tell you what,
it is.
That's a big loss here for the Bruins. And the way he's holding that leg right now, I do not anticipate that he's going to make a return to this ball game.
That is the probably if you're talking about the best offensive and defensive lineman for the Bruins, it's probably Zach Jones. I know Zach personally. He's a fine young man. He's one of the best young men I've ever met. Looking to go to Center College. And just a great kid. That's kind of heartbreaking to see him being taken off the field like that very gingerly. It looks like a right knee.
Yeah, it looks like it is the knee that he's being cautious to put any pressure down on that right leg. But losing a big offensive lineman, defensive lineman like Zach is really tough to replace.
Motion. Darian Davis takes the handoff. He's got a little space around the outside. Pick up 4 yards maybe.
Yeah, not a bad job out here on the edge here. Gavin George was maintaining the edge, making sure that no one was going to get outside of him, and able to toss the stock block and able to make a play there.
That was number 18, Andrew Chatfield, on the block. They were battling pretty hard out here on the right edge. It's 3rd and 2, big 3rd and 2 with 6:59 to go in the game. 4 wide receivers. That's Dominic Hodges in the backfield. Holy cow, again, a big and costly penalty. It's illegal motion.
Yeah, getting a little jumpy there on a 3rd and short. Looks like they were dialing up a play, a run play here, but that is going to hurt him here on this 3rd down.
That's going to bring up now 3rd and 7 instead of 3rd and 2. We've got Deshaun Johnson, 13, back on the field after being injured. So he's going to come out on 3rd and 7, 4 wide. Hodges next to Russell. Snap, looking to his left, looking back to his right. He's trying to throw a screen, but it was covered. He has to tuck it and go, and down he goes.
Yeah, down he goes. He's going to be a loss. Number 61, Mason Trout, was in there early. Justin Russell was able to evade him a little bit, but he wasn't able to get past the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, tackled by Noah Page, Josh Valentine, Sean Hay. A lot of the Bruins getting there. What a costly penalty, Dan.
Yeah, very costly. I mean, when you were sitting at 3rd and 2, I guess it was, and you had dialed up a run play, and you get an offsides penalty. It's just that is devastating.
Well, John Hardin, punt formation with 6:02 to go, and timeouts in their pocket. They'll go ahead and choose to kick it away. Punt is away. Good punt. Driving Gavin George back deep. Inside his 20. The ball still rolling deep in Bruin territory. And down at about the 2-yard line. Wow, what a punt.
A great job. I think that was looks like number 5, Aaron Scott, that was able to get down there and down that ball.
Trying to look and see where the spot actually is, if it's the 1 or the 2 or where they were able to down that. That was a fantastic play.
Yeah, now I'm scanning my brain thinking about this a little bit. He caught the ball and carried it into the end zone. I'm thinking, I thought in high school that he had to down the ball outside and have possession of it outside of the end zone.
They are having a conversation down there. That was, if that's true, and the Bruins end up with the ball out near the 20-yard line or at the 20-yard line, that's a costly error because he didn't have to do that. He could have just stopped there easily and down the football. There is a call of holding on the Bruins as well.
Half the distance of a yard is going to put him at the half-yard line.
Wow, this is kind of a desperate situation for the Bruins with 5:45 remaining to get off their goal line and give themselves an opportunity to start moving the football and eating up clock. Give Valentine over the right side. Big run, running over several John Hardin Bulldogs.
That's going to give him a little bit of breathing room. I was actually thinking that we were going to see a Cody Moore quarterback sneak, as we've seen earlier, good for 3 or 4 yards. We've got another Bulldog down.
Saw someone come out of there off of the tackle, limping and falling. Just a moment here while we're sitting in our position in the booth and can see the Central Hardin sideline. We see Zach Jones laying on the table being worked on. That is absolutely not a good sign. I see one of the trainers on the phone. So Zach Jones, one of the finest Bruins, both as a player and as a young man. Looks like he's down. Looks like the John Hardin Bulldog player who was down is off on the sideline and jogging it out. So it looks like he's going to be okay. So that's good news for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, so the Bruins definitely got some breathing room there off that nice Josh Valentine run, setting them up on 2nd and 1 here. You hate to be pinned back in your end zone like that.
Toss sweep, Gavin George around the left side, just trying to get the yard to get the first down. I don't know if he got it.
I think he's going to get it. It looked like that he needed to get to about the 10 or 11 yard line. I think he's going to get it. That's kind of the tough play is you got the lead blocks coming all the way out here, and the job for the lead block is really to try to kick this guy out. But Gavin is kind of running all the way to him and really taking away what the kickout block is doing because he's blocking him right into him.
Well, we saw Taylor Ferris be very patient earlier on some big runs. Maybe we'll look for Gavin to do that as well. Well, they move the sticks. 1st and 10 from their own 13-yard line. Turn, give. Gavin George this time does cut it back up inside. Met by a host of the John Hardin Bulldogs.
George on the carry.
Led by 52, Dominic Hope again.
Yeah, good job of Dominic Hope and bringing the Bulldogs with him to make that stop on there because Gavin George did see the lane, was able to turn it back up into it, and the Bulldogs were able to stop him for the short game. Looks like we're getting both Gavin George and Josh Valentine a little bit of a breather right now.
2nd down and 8 from their own 15-yard line of the Bruins. The clock is running, Dan. It's down to 4:20, and the Bulldogs are going to have to start to consider burning timeouts to give themselves an opportunity. Hope again in the backfield, split 2 blockers, grabbed a hold of the shirt of Kyler Lee.
Yeah, you got to be careful here a little bit. Good sportsmanship there by number 52, Dominic Hope. He's coming up, helping Kyler Lee up off the tackle. Great show of sportsmanship. But, the Bulldogs can make a stop right here, and they may be in a decent position. Bruins got to be looking for a first down.
They do. A couple first downs, and this game's probably over. John Hardin gets a stop here. They'll get great field position. So, big series here, 3rd and 7. Bad snap out of the shotgun. Cody Moore running for his life backwards towards his own end zone. Safety. John Hardin.
Safety.
They'll get the 2 points and the ball and a flag on the play.
I'll say it again, Paul. This is the inexperience on the bad snap. Get the ball, either get back upfield or just down it right there.
Dan, I've coached for 21 years, and you just see new and weird stuff every time you watch 16, 17, and 18-year-olds play football. Anything can happen. Just a strange set of circumstances. Dan, I don't know. Was the snap a really bad snap or just mishandled?
It was low. It was a bit low, and he's trying to pick it up. He's trying to make something happen out of it. But to retreat 17 yards or so, you got to be careful there. And the result here, if they're going to get the safety here to John Hardin, and off of that safety, now Central Hardin either gets to punt the ball away or kick it off as a traditional kickoff. But John Hardin is going to get this ball back down with 1 point in 3:32 on the clock. And this penalty is going to push the ball back even farther.
Well,
there's really a great field position.
I don't know if the audience is aware, but when there's a safety, the kick is from the 20-yard line, too. It's not from the traditional position at the 35. So that's 15 yards as it is right there. When you're kicking from your 20, they are stepping it off back. They're going to end up kicking from about their 10-yard line, Dan. So John Hardin with 3:32 to go in the fourth quarter, down just 1 point. Good grief. They'll probably be fielding the ball at their own 40 or at the 50-yard line on this kickoff.
Yeah, I imagine that the Bulldogs, when they start on offense here, they're going to have the ball going in Bruin territory, and the Bruins are going to have to hold strong with 3:32 left in this game.
Well, we've already seen Zach Owen, the John Hardin kicker, miss an extra point. I've watched him in the past. He has enough leg. He has the ability to kick a field goal. If it comes to that situation here, we'll keep an eye on that. But they got to be thinking touchdown right here, getting the ball and having an opportunity to put it in the end zone. Xander Allen, good kickoff, spinning sideways and bouncing. Jalen Springs fielding at his own 35. He's got space coming around left, cuts it back up inside. He's loose. Oh, shoestring tackle right at the end.
Yeah, it was a nice run by Jalen there. I saw a block in the back here. The ref did not see it. They did not get the call. But it was a really, Xander Allen, a nice kick.
Very good.
Gave him a chance, yeah.
Number 54, again, our nameless player that's not on the roster as 54 for the Bruins, saving a tackle. Xander Allen, the kicker, was the last guy, and I'm sure he didn't want any part of Jalen Springs bearing down on him. So great tackle there. The Bruins will have a chance, but John Hardin set up on the Bruin 35-yard line, 1st and 10 with 3:23 remaining. Motion, Hill, give, Kaysen, straight ahead, big pickup. And again, with Zach Jones sitting over here at the training table, straight ahead, right at the left side where Zach normally lines up.
Yeah, nice tackle by Kyler Lee to save that, but after a 6-yard pickup.
3:05, 3:04, snap, give, Kaysen straight ahead, stood up at the line of scrimmage. Don't think he quite got to the first down marker. It's going to be close. It'll probably bring up a 3rd and 1 here.
Yeah, a good job by leaning his body forward to get a couple extra yards out of it after being stood up at the line of scrimmage. John Hardin, again, keep it simple here. I would just keep running the ball.
68 Butterworth on the tackle. Trips to the right. Kaysen straight ahead, cutting back to the left. He'll pick up a 1st down. It'll be 1st down and 10 from about the 24-yard line. 23-yard line of the Bruins. And so they're deep in Bruin territory. Clock has stopped as they move the chains. It's rolling again at 2:33, 2:32. Trips to the right. Deshaun Johnson in the slot. Give around the right side. Springs again. Stacked up.
Yeah, good job. It looked like Josh Valentine was out here on the edge. Turned Springs back inside, and he did have some Bruin help to come in here and stop it. But again, the Bulldogs are picking up 4 or 5 every punch now.
Second and 6. 4 wide. Give again to Springs. Just short, it looks like. It'll be 3rd and 1. Another carry by Springs. I'm telling you, I'm seeing guys getting up off the ground very slowly on both sides of the ball. A lot of this is going to be about guts, about heart. Who's got enough left in the tank? Whether that's fortitude, heart, whatever you want to call it. Somebody's going to have to step up to make this play. 3rd and 2. Give. Cut back. Fumble! Ball on the ground. It looks like John Hardin fell on it.
Again, a big hit. Noah Page put a big hit here on number 23, Will Kaysen on the carry for the Bulldogs. Kaysen looked like that he was able to fall back on it. The ball has bounced the Bulldogs' way on the last 2 times that we've seen hits like that.
The big thing we've got going on here is that because of the fumble, is a loss of about 5 yards. It'll bring up 4th and 6 now. And the ball game will be on the line with 1:06 to go in the 4th quarter. Bulldogs with the football, down 1. Needing 7 yards to keep this drive alive.
What do you think, Coach? I mean, do you bring out your kicker? Do you bring out your kicker and give him a chance right here? It is a very makeable kick from this distance. We've seen him earlier in warm-ups. He can make this kick. But is this one that you put onto your special teams, or do you call up your running backs?
I don't know Zach Owens well enough as a kicker to know, what the coach. I see Zach actually walking toward the huddle right now to see what's going on. I'm sure he's wanting to know the same thing. Am I kicking this thing or am I not kicking it? Honestly, I don't think he's going to put the trust and the faith in the kicker right now. It looks like they've adjusted the down marker. It's instead of 4th and 7, it's going to be 4th and 5. It's moved up a little bit. The person on the down marker may have had it just a little bit off on where the ball is sitting. It's at the 18-yard line. So marking off about 7 yards for the snap. We're looking at a 35-yard field goal if they want it. They don't want it, Dan.
No, they are going to line up here
Crowd is riled up. Big play. 4th and 5. Game in the balance. Bulldogs. Justin Russell awaiting the snap. Deshaun Johnson to the right. He's going to sprint left. He's got pressure in his face. Throw is up. Caught Darian Davis on the sideline. And he's out of bounds with 59 seconds to go.
Nice grab there. Justin Russell making the throw. He had pressure in his face, and he was able to keep his feet and make a nice throw downfield.
That was Kylo Lee on the pressure right in his face. Immediately, Darian Davis just ran an out route and beat the corner over there. I believe it was Taylor Ferris in coverage. It'll be 1st and goal from the 5 with 59 seconds. I don't think the clock is a factor anymore with the timeouts the Bulldogs have. So here we go. The give. Straight ahead, they're moving the pile. Not enough. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 2, I believe, a 3-yard pickup. I believe it's Jalen Springs in the game handling the football just then.
2nd and goal.
Ball security, ball security, ball security at this point right now. The Bulldogs look like they're going to just let this clock wind, and they're going to have faith that they're going to be able to put this ball in the end zone.
Empty backfield. Pressure up the middle. The quarterback, Justin Russell, is down for a big loss. Looks like Sean Hay on the tackle, number 61, who is Mason Trout. He's made several big plays.
Coach Engstrom is screaming
Clock
for a
is still
timeout.
running.
He has been screaming for a timeout. He was screaming for a timeout with about 28 seconds to go, and the refs were never looking at him, and he finally takes off running down to the side judge to get his attention for the timeout, and they lose 12 seconds off the clock.
I looked up and saw the clock still running, Dan, and I saw him sprinting down the sideline. I wondered when they were going to call it. They went to empty backfield, which to me doesn't make any sense at all. They're running the ball so well, and didn't look like they blocked a soul on that play. There were 3 or 4 Bruins that were loose, penetrating into the backfield on what looked like some sort of quarterback draw.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I have not kept up with timeouts, so I am really oblivious to how many timeouts that John Hardin has left. I don't think that Central Hardin has used any. They had the one earlier in the game that was given back to them.
John has called at least 2, Dan, but I think they've got one still in their pocket. It's 3rd and 5 here, 3rd and goal from the 5. Obviously, a throw and an incomplete pass would stop the clock. The Bulldogs are in a tight formation and under center for the first time all night. And now the Bruins want to talk it over. They have not seen double tight end, double wing, 1 back formation under center from the Bulldogs. I haven't seen them in that formation in 2 football games, so Bruins are going to talk it over.
Yeah, I do not know what was getting ready to happen. They had some quick motion coming. I had a feeling that maybe going to give a quick give to the fullback and fake the toss outside and see what they could get out of the fullback.
Well, that's a bit of a wrinkle. That's a new one, and I really felt like on a 3rd and 5 situation there, maybe they do want to run the football twice and see if they can pound it in. But I really was expecting probably some sort of pass play where the clock will stop if you don't complete the pass into the end zone. But 3rd and 5, 16.3 seconds. Bruins 17, Bulldogs 16. This thing has lived up to everything we wanted. Excitement, turnovers, ebb and flow, back and forth. And honestly, we've seen a lot of mistakes.
Absolutely.
A lot of errors, bad penalties, bad turnovers, bad judgment, along with some big plays by Jalen Springs and Gavin George. And it comes down to a couple more snaps. So we've got 2 more at the most here. And they will be double wing again. Looks like Jalen Springs back. Darian Davis, they are going to throw it to the right. He's got 15, Nelson wide open. Touchdown Bulldogs.
Touchdown Bulldogs.
Trevor Nelson on the reception on the corner route. I haven't seen him in the football game on offense either. Flag will be down.
I've got to tell you this, Paul. Again, I hate to be this kind of guy, but I think he was out the back of the end zone, but I don't believe the referee was looking. I wish that there was a replay on this thing to see it. He threw the ball over top of his shoulders, but where I was, from my angle, and I don't necessarily have the best angle, it looked like that he caught the ball with his feet out of bounds.
It's hard to see. There's a line, and actually Noah Page is standing at the back of the end zone pointing at a spot on the field. He thinks that Trevor Nelson was out of the back of the end zone when he caught the football. There's a line back there. Then there's a dotted line, a dashed line behind that where the one of the pylons is located. I don't know if the officials knew where they were.
I think that the officials were watching to see if he pulled the ball in. But again, just kind of, I kind of see those things. To me, it looked like that he was out of bounds when he collected that ball.
Waiting a call from the official. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Bruins.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Central.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Bruins again.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Central. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Central.
3 unsportsmanlike conduct calls on Central. I don't know if that's a 45-yard penalty or what that ends up being, but that is not going to help their situation as far as receiving the kickoff. Zach Owens will be in to do the kicking duties to try the point after. The score is 22-17. Bulldogs. Big pass from Justin Russell to Trevor Nelson. Again, Justin Russell with some. I tell you, Dan, he's feast or famine. You get some really bad interceptions, but you get some really big plays as well, like the throw to Markelius Hill for a touchdown, and now this throw to Trevor Nelson for the touchdown.
Yeah, and yeah, don't want to take anything away from that. And like I said, it was a great play call. They definitely got what they wanted, throwing the ball up, and he was able just to pull it in over top of his shoulder pads. And the Bruins were able to get the block here on the extra point.
After block, but at 5 points, it still requires a touchdown for the Bruins to get back in this thing. So John Hardin fans on their feet, enjoying it, spoiling the home opener for the Bruins. Unless we're going to see a miracle here, it looks like John Hardin's going to walk out of Cecilia and out of Central Hardin Bruin Field with a W tonight.
Yeah, that's the way it's looking right now. With 11.2 seconds left to go in the ball game, there's really not enough time for the Bruins to amount to anything. Again, they're playing with a backup quarterback who has not necessarily shown the propensity to throw the ball down the field. Maybe the Bruins get the ball here and they have one shot at it. Maybe they bring Sean Hay back in and see if he doesn't throw a ball up to Gavin George.
Well, here we are. John Hardin looking now to go to 3-2 after the win at Warren Central last week, and now an opportunity for a big win here. I don't know what to think about what's happening with the marking off of the penalties here. It appears as though John Hardin is going to kick off from the Central Hardin 30. No.
They're going to kick off from the 15-yard line. They're adding these personal foul penalties up, and they're going to kick the ball off from the 15-yard line. I don't think in all my years playing, coaching, watching football I've ever seen this.
Never seen it in my life this deep in someone's territory. I mean, what do you do when you're kicking off from here? Everybody's just standing around. They don't even know what to do. The Bruin return people, honestly, if he needs to just kick it through the end zone and give it to him on the 20. But if he diddles it around, this is such a weird situation. If he doesn't kick it anywhere and they pick it up, I mean, this is as good an opportunity as anything for Central Hardin to get a big return, and he'll just kick it through the end zone.
Actually, that's probably it's a great sportsmanship on that. Probably just kick it through the end zone, give them the ball back at the 20. I guess a coach could have said, "Hey, let's onside kick it here and see what happens." Because what's the worst thing at that point? The ball's sitting on the 5-yard line, the 2-yard line. But I think that's, and I'm gonna chalk it up as a great sportsmanship, just kicking the ball through the back of the end zone. They're going to give Central Hardin the full 11.2 seconds to try to make something happen here.
Maybe enough time for 2 snaps. I think Central has a timeout, several timeouts, but probably only enough time for 2 snaps. We'll see what they've got. Again, a difficult situation when you're on a 3rd or 4th quarterback or 5th quarterback, as the case may be. Not a lot of options for the Bruins. Bulldogs are, I'm sure, ready to celebrate. They'll send back, and again, I see Deshaun Johnson, who hasn't played defense, out on the field. They'll take their tallest, most athletic guys and put them back deep. to try to avoid getting beat over the top on a deep ball. Jalen Springs, I see deep. Number 4, Josh Garrett, is going to be back deep, trying to stop the big play from happening. So just a couple snaps for the Bruins.
And it looks like that Sean Hay is going to come in and take this snap, and I can probably guess that he's going to try to see if he can't throw this ball up down the field to Gavin George.
Timeout, John Hardin, so the Bulldogs are going to talk it over. They've got another timeout, so they're going to talk it over a little bit more. As we wrap up the evening here, let me again note Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties. For all your real estate needs, contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he'll get the job done. Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900, online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point, or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. So, Dan, we got 11.2. Bulldogs 22, Bruins 17, and 1 or 2 last gasps for the Bruins.
Yeah, they're gonna try to see if they can't chuck this ball up here. All depending on how long this play takes. This may be it.
So Jalen Springs back deep at corner. A number of bad snap along the ground. Sean Hay under pressure. He's looking down the field. He's going to go ahead and tuck it and run. He better get out of bounds. 3 seconds, and they're going to stop the clock with 3 seconds to go. Sean picks up 13 yards, but they obviously need a lot more than that.
Yeah, snap on the ground in this situation does not help at all. We need to have a perfect snap into his hands if he's going to be able to try to make something happen. And he just made that play on his own.
Especially with an inexperienced quarterback, Dan, they're going to need to give him every opportunity. First of all, bad snap. Second of all, pressure in his face. And as far as making decisions, that's going to be a tough thing for a guy taking his second snap as a varsity quarterback to make a decision. He picks up 13 yards. They've got 3.3 seconds remaining, and that's one more shot.
Yeah, just kind of some follow-ups from around the area. E-Town is able to hand Thomas Nelson a big defeat there. That E-Town wins 47-7. Looks like North Hardin is going to walk into another victory here, leading North Bull at 42-7. Yeah, so some big wins for those programs.
Big wins for those programs. It looks like a big win for the John Hardin Bulldogs tonight. And the Bruins will take the field again for one more play. I see Josh Valentine. I see Talon Ferris. I see Noah Page spread out to the left. Sean Hay at quarterback again. Sean's a big kid. He looks good back there. But, again, this is a new situation for him. He's going to chuck it deep. He's throwing it into triple coverage, and the ball is knocked down. He was going for Gavin George up the right sideline. That's the ball game.
Yeah, wow. What an exciting game. Ends in the favor of the Bulldogs. They're able to put that last touchdown in. And we go from this new series, this new rivalry we consider started back in 2014 now. We're going 2-2 between the Bulldogs and the Bruins.
Well, interesting ball game. For a long time there, it sure looked like, well, we do have a flag on the play. We're packing our gear up, and there's a flag out there. Sideline warning. Why in the world would you do that as an official when the game's over? Sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. Oh, goodness. The game's over, I think. Yeah, the officials are leaving the field. So, Dan, it's a game to me that looked like for a long time nobody wanted to win.
Yeah, I think that the Bulldogs and the Bruins did about whatever they could to give the other team a chance. And I hate it in this case that somebody has to lose, but somebody has to win. And fortunately for Coach Ingstrand and his kids of John Hardin Bulldogs, they were able to pull one out. The Bruins going to have to figure some things out for sure.
Well, we saw a number of big penalties. A number of big turnovers, not the least of which was 45 yards worth of penalties on the last touchdown. We saw a lot of again big turnovers, several fumbles from the Bruins, several fumbles from the Bulldogs, interceptions. Again, a lot of sloppy stuff, and honestly, it made it pretty doggone exciting, the sloppy play, but it's certainly not good football.
No, not at all. I think both ball clubs are, again, looking for something to continue to build upon. I think that Coach Engstrand has to be able to walk away from this game and feeling pretty good about the way that they were able to run the ball. They were able to, we saw 3 different guys carry for the bulk of the load for them. The Bulldogs were really able to establish a running game in this game, that we hadn't seen so far in this season.
Yeah. Well, final thoughts. Again, the John Hardin Bulldogs 22, Central Hardin Bruins 17. A really good affair, a fun affair to watch, a fun game to watch. Again, a lot of errors, but a really fun game. A lot of big plays on both sides of the football. John Hardin Bulldogs made more plays.
Absolutely. Yeah, they were able to finish when it needed to happen. Again, big play down at the end. The Bulldogs able to dial up, go back to what they like to do and throwing the ball, and able to get the ball in the hands from Russell to his big receiver there, pulling it in for the touchdown.
Well, for our sponsors, for our HCEC student crew, for our HCEC-TV adult crew, all of us here at Hardin County Television, we're super thankful for you and your support, and we'll be back next Friday night for some more great Hardin County football action. Good night, everybody.
All right.